share their weight. Then, on July 21st, we will randomly select one lucky winner, and they will score their weight in meat. Served up by our friends with the NC Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So, when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or 2 Bird Dog combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
All of us have a role to play in promoting a mental health friendly workplace.
Whether we're a CEO, manager,
coworker,
or someone with a mental health condition ourselves.
So what can I do to help?
Learn more at whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WREL Severe Weather Center. Highs this afternoon will reach into the low 90s. Heat index values pushing just over 100 degrees. Some isolated showers and storms are possible, but a much lower rain chance in the past couple of days. Some localized flooding is also possible.
Weather report brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 258 points to 44,392.
Bryce in the pocket, steps up, eludes the rush, throws, end zone, caught, Adam Thielen, touchdown!
He'll toss it that way to Hampton, and he is in. Touchdown, Carolina.
Bailey, shotgun, snap left hashes, QB keeper, dives forward, touchdown. Bailey is 3rd of the night.
Cooper faces up with 5 and 4, drives Davis, spins, waiting, fades away, and hits!
Game over! Series over! Sebastian!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you for starting your weekend with us. Assuming that, 3 o'clock on Friday. We're there, right? Happy Friday to you. Max producing the show today as Dennis remains on vacation. So Max will help close out the week with us. And speaking of closing out the week, we're going to start the day as we always do with our big 3 at 3. But today it's kind of a big 4 at 4. Because I have a Friday favor to ask of you, just a from one friend to another, right? We're friends at this point. Been spending almost 2 years exactly together in afternoons. We need 4 more subscribers for 18,000 on YouTube. So if there are 4 of you out there that are feeling good on a Friday, feeling generous, want some great content, want to take our relationship to the next level, and you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube, if you could just go to your phone, go to your laptop, your computer, your tablet, whatever you use, go to YouTube, search for 99.9 The Fan, and subscribe, that would make me feel very good. That would help me set my weekend off into a good way, so then I'll have optimistic, positive energy throughout the show so I can help you start your weekend off in a good way. And yes, the bosses that ask questions about numbers and things, they would also be pleased with how the YouTube channel is growing. So everybody would be in a good mood. You could really help us all out.
I'll be in a good mood too.
And Max. So just search 99.9 The Fan on YouTube, subscribe, and then stay subscribed.
I will monitor the analytics. If we hit 18,000, I'll hit the breaking news.
I mean,
we can celebrate.
We only need 4. It'll be mighty. Actually, maybe that's it. Maybe I should go full pity. It'd be mighty embarrassing if we don't get 4 after this long plea here. So don't make me have to put my tail between my legs and limp into the weekend. All right, that's the big 4 at 4 because we need 4 subscribers. Now let's get to the real news to start the show, the big 3 at 3. All right, a little deja vu at number, what do we start with? Number 1. NIL. NCAA is messing it up again. It's unbelievable. It's they can't even make the right decision correctly. They make the right decision incorrectly. So finally, schools can pay players. It's been obvious for years, if not decades. It's how it's going to end. The NCAA finally, with some pressure from court cases and legislations and elected officials, schools can pay players. But for whatever reason, they're saying schools can pay players and darn near no one else can. These collectives that have been formed because the NCAA has been mishandling this for years are, I guess, in the crosshairs of the NCAA. So the House ruling, the House settlement, as they called it, which took effect on July 1st, established a clearinghouse called NIL Go. I mean, first of all, that sounds like an app that your buddy tries to get you to download to your phone because he and a friend from high school, NIL Go. It's like Pokemon Go, HBO Max. All right, never mind. But NIL Go states that a third party must approve all deals for more than $600 in endorsements, or NIL, name, image, and likeness, autograph signings, all those sorts of things. The 2 main requirements for those deals are that they are a valid business purpose and within a fair market range of compensation. We'll dive into this. I just want to know why. I just want to know why the NCAA thinks they can tell anyone who can and can't spend their money in a certain place. If somebody wants to pay $100,000 for an autograph, who is the NCAA to say that's not allowed? And what is the harm of it? A player gets $100,000? That's the problem? What's the problem? Schools are complaining because they're submitting things that seem legit. They're submitting things like a player has to post 8 times on multiple social medias. They have to make multiple appearances. They are providing a service, and still the NIL Go is saying there's no valid business purpose. So it is yet again politics. NCAA aiming at somebody they have a grudge with and hurting the players for no good reason. Again, we'll dive in, but it's developing, and schools are not happy, and they shouldn't be. That is number 1 in the big 3 at 3. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
CJ Bailey, returning quarterback, sophomore quarterback for the NC State Wolfpack. I don't know if he's the type of guy that, would print something out, use it as motivation, put it in the back of his locker so he sees it every day. I don't know if he's like Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver for the Lions, who has memorized offhand every wide receiver that was drafted above him in his draft class. And, I mean, it seems like every single interview he does, he ends up rattling them off for everybody. But if C.J. Bailey were that person, I have some motivation for him. If he needed motivation, I've got it for him. USA Today put out a ranking of 17 ACC quarterbacks, right? There's 17 teams. They ranked 17 quarterbacks. C.J. Bailey was ranked 15th.
What?
C.J. Bailey was ranked 15th, and just to like on the surface, something that he should be insulted by. Two of the quarterbacks above him were either ors, because the schools haven't even named their starter yet. So it's Purdy or Ashford at Wake Forest is above C.J. Bailey. Lopez or Johnson is above Bailey by a considerable number. There are guys that have significantly worse statistics. There are guys that have worse statistics at Group of 5 schools in their 5th year of college football than C.J. Bailey had last year at a Power 5 conference as a true freshman, yet they are significantly above C.J. Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be good bulletin board material, especially with the either or. You seeing the not even named starter in front of you. I mean, come on.
As soon as they figure out who's going to start, that guy's better than you. Chandler Morris. Chandler Morris is at UVA. Last year, he was at North Texas. He has had 2 shots to make it in the Power 5. Started his career at Oklahoma, transferred to TCU, didn't become the starter long-term at either, transfers to North Texas, and in his 5th year of college football, at his 3rd school, his passer rating was 140. Last year, C.J. Bailey, true freshman, that was given not the starting reps in preseason because Grayson McCall was a quarterback. He gets hurt. C.J. Bailey thrown into the mix in a Power 5 conference, not North Texas, in a Power 5 conference, 144. Chandler Morris is picked 6th in the ACC. C.J. Bailey is picked 15th. Number 14, one spot above C.J. Bailey, Ricky Collins from Syracuse. Do you know how many career pass attempts he has in college?
0?
7.
It's not too far off.
He played 2 years of college football. He has 7. 5 1 year, 2 the year before. At LSU, but what is it, just name recognition? If you're around good players, you automatically... C.J. Bailey did it on the field. And I could go on and on. Number 12, Eli Holstein from Pitt. Passer rating 4 points below C.J. Bailey. Kyron Drones, number 10, passer rating at Virginia Tech, significantly below C.J. Bailey, 128. Miller Moss, 4th year of college football last year, playing at USC before transferring to Louisville, 135. Again, Bailey, 144. Miller, number 8. If you need a little motivation, there you go, C.J. Bailey. That's number 2. Let's hit number 3.
Number 3.
Cooper Flagg made his I guess NBA in totality debut last night. He made his Summer League debut for the Dallas Mavericks. And first of all, before we get to my reaction to the game, let's hear from Cooper Flagg himself on his performance in his NBA Summer League debut.
The coaches, they had a lot of confidence in me. They've been telling me they want me to, experiment, try some new things. And I was trying to be aggressive. That's new for me too. I would say that might be one of the worst games of my life. And I'm not necessarily worried, but obviously just not happy with how it went. But, at the end of the day, we did get the win.
I said this yesterday. He's going to be scrutinized. And if Summer League is for getting ready for the NBA, the way he gets ready is by being scrutinized, right? The way he gets ready is by getting used to it. So let's scrutinize. He forced it. It was one of the first times since I began watching Cooper Flagg, right? When he committed to Duke and I knew he was going to be coming to the Triangle and he had all this hype, started watching high school tape and highlights, and then obviously watched every game at Duke. Last night was one of the first times he forced it. 5 of 21.
Yeah, you could tell it was early too. The first couple of possessions, he was getting those shots up.
5 of 21, 0 for 5 on threes, did not score in the second half. That's too many shots for a guy that can impact the game in a billion ways. Too many shots for a guy that's not making them. For a guy that can impact the game in a billion ways without forcing shots.
He played a lot, too, with like 31 minutes, and it's 10-minute quarters in the Summer League as well.
I don't blame him for wanting to create a moment, and maybe he did say, I'm going to force it because who cares about this game? This big deal for these other guys trying to earn a roster spot, but not me. Maybe. But I just think really it was startling because so many times we saw him in big moments, big games, just it's like, when is he going to start, looking for himself, because he just lets the game come to him. Last night he did not. But the rest of his game was there, by the way. 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Probably could add more if his teammates knocked down some shots. Even some dunks probably should have been made that would have led to an assist for him that weren't. Also had 3 steals and a block on defense. So the full game is there. He'll be fine. But I guess even the guys that have played all their high school games on national television get a little nervous and a little antsy the first time they throw on that NBA uniform, and it looked like it. I have no worries. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Big 3 at 3. We're going to keep it rolling on a Friday and dive into those NIL approval rules. Why is the NCAA, who's supposed to be in favor of the student athletes, dead set on making sure they do not improve their life? At least not as much as they could. Stick around.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, faucets, vanities, doors, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through July 18th. Not a member? Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
At Wells Fargo, we know what got you into your business. Whether it's manufacturing, running a restaurant, or your business from home. What you didn't get into your business for was banking. But luckily, Wells Fargo offers business checking, payments, and lending all in one place, in your neighborhood and on our app, so you can focus on doing what you love. Wells Fargo, you're good at business, we're good at business banking. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/business. Terms apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Black isn't just a color. It's the presence of infinite possibilities. It's the moment before everything changes. An invitation to something unforgettable.
I won.
Win up to $4 million with Carolina Black Premier from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.18. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I don't say it enough, but on a Friday it feels appropriate. Our listeners are awesome. I at the beginning of the show I did, it was a selfish plea. Let's be real, little like just a can you do a favor for me type deal. But I did say we were 4 subscribers on YouTube short of 18,000, and those big round numbers are fun to achieve. So I thought on a Friday it'd be good for kind of internally here at the station, our vibes, if we got to 18,000. So I said, if there are 4 of you out there, could you go subscribe? Within like 20 seconds, we've soared past it. We're way above 18,000. So thank you to everybody that made that happen. I forget how – I don't forget. I just don't say it enough how awesome everybody is out there. But also, just in the interest of, let's see how – that worked so well.
Yeah, get everybody who subscribed, get 2 people to subscribe.
We're only like 1,900 away from 2,000 or 20,000. So if there are 1,900 of you out there listening and you haven't subscribed to YouTube yet, that would be awesome. All right, I guess this is like the thing that your mentor in business says or whatever. It's like, just ask. All they can say is no. Go in there and ask.
Yeah.
See, all they can say is no.
Everybody tell 2 people, get those people
There
to
we go.
each tell 2 people, and then all of a sudden it's a domino effect. And then all of a sudden we have like 1 million subscribers, and we're the number 1 place for sports content on the internet.
Let's get some kind of a YouTube Ponzi scheme working, multi-level marketing. No, seriously, thank you to those of you that did just jump on and subscribe. And we really would like to hit some of these other big numbers, 19,000, 20,000, and beyond. So if you haven't subscribed yet, we do put a lot of work into that. We do put a lot of time and effort into repackaging content, creating new content for our YouTube community. And we do, seriously, read the comments, right? Take that as feedback. Sometimes topics and arguments we have on the show directly come from a point made in the YouTube comments. So if you want to be a part of it, we'd love to have you. Just search 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Subscribe as we cruise towards hopefully 20,000 and beyond. But we are just above 18,000 because of how awesome all of you are. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Honestly, maybe our most consistent take through the 2 years of building that YouTube channel that I've been a part of has been the NCAA messing up. Right? We've been up, we've been down on most of the teams, right? Oh, they had a big win. Oh, they had a big loss. Oh, the Canes are going to win the cup. Oh, that's a brutal loss in the postseason. The Panthers stink. Bryce Young needs to be benched. Oh, wait, now he's the future of the quarterback position. We've been up and down on everything. The NCAA is almost universally down. The NIL Go, we talked about this a few minutes ago, it's an NIL Go. It's a third-party system that has to approve all name, image, and likeness deals that a college athlete can accept and retain their eligibility. I have some of the verbiage here issued yesterday by the College Sports Commission. An entity, so this is part of the guidelines. An entity with a business purpose of providing payments or benefits to student athletes or institutions rather than providing goods or services to the general public for profit does not satisfy the valid business purpose requirement set forth in the NCAA rule. That's a lot of words to say this. Something like a collective that was formed just to pay athletes is no longer approved to pay athletes. Despite the fact that they've been paying athletes for the last 3 or 4 years heavy amounts of money already, they are no longer allowed to. It then cited, again, to dive back into the rule, an example. Say a collective reaches a deal with a student athlete to make an appearance on behalf of the collective at an event, even if that event is open to the general public and the collective charges an admission. For example, a golf tournament. The same collective's deal with a student athlete to promote the collective's sale of merchandise to the public would not satisfy the valid business purpose requirement for the same reasons. So, I'm just going to take a step back here. I'm going to try to draw this out in the simplest terms that my brain can understand. If somebody pays an athlete $1,000 to speak in an event, and then they charge tickets, They sell tickets to that event, that makes $2,000. The NCAA is saying that's not a business entity. That's not allowed. Despite the fact that the business just made $1,000, I don't know what businesses are supposed to do if making money ain't part of it. Meanwhile, it would be okay if, say, Nike gave a player $1 million to wear their shoes in a commercial without any proof or there's no way to track that commercial led to $2 million in sales. That would be okay. It's hypocritical, quite frankly, illogical. It's stupid, right? As we keep getting more simple with our insults, it's dumb. And I keep coming back to the same question. And maybe it's because my 4-year-old son is at this part in his development where he just says why over and over and over again. We have a children's book that he's been reading since he was a kid. It's called Don't Let the Pigeon Ride the Bus. And it's a whole bunch of jokey stuff about a pigeon that wants to ride the bus. And now he just hits you with, why does the pigeon want to drive the bus? And you're like, oh gosh, I don't know. Oh no, what do I do? And you go, well, he wants to. Well, why does he want to? Well, because he always dreamed of it. Well, why does he dream of it? And you just think the why? Maybe that's why. But I hear all of this detailed rulings, and this money's acceptable, this money's not, this money can be proven to make value, this money can't, and I'm going, why? Why does it matter? If somebody out there has their hard-earned money, right? You understand the value of a dollar. If they have their hard-earned money and they are choosing to give it to a player for any reason, now that players are allowed to make money, who cares? Who cares? What is the problem with players getting paid? What is the problem with players getting paid more than you think they should? That's my question. How does it change your Saturday when you're watching a college football game that a player goes home to a nicer apartment? How does it change your Saturday or your, Big Tuesday or whatever you want because the point guard can drive home in a nicer car or has more money in his bank account or bought a house nearby campus to rent out as an Airbnb? Who cares? Who cares if they blow it on a diamond chain? Who cares? Why does the NCAA get involved? There are a few things that make sports perfect. Perfect's probably not the right word. That make them so awesome to me. 2, and I say it all the time. I have not wavered on this in years. 1, unpredictable. You can't script it. Matter of fact, the best stuff in sports, if it ever happened in a scripted movie, we would go, oh, that's dumb. But because we know it's not scripted and not predictable, it's awesome. 2, it's equal. It's fair. Doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter if you're tall or short. Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. Doesn't matter anything about it, right? It only matters if you can perform the task. If you play basketball and you're 4'2" and you're playing up against a guy that's 7 foot, but you put the ball in the hoop more than they put the ball in the hoop, you win. If you show up on a football field and one of you has $10 million, comes from a rich family, one of you has no money and doesn't, it's whoever pushes the ball into the end zone the most wins, right? It's the equal. The more rules like this, the more openings there are for not being equal. If you just say everybody can get whatever money they want, that's equal. Now you got to go get it. You got to find people that are willing to give it to you. But if you have all these rules with all these vague wordings, now I say, hey, I got a $10,000 endorsement deal, approve it. They say no. Now the other one writes in a slightly different wording into the submission process, and hey, I got a $10,000 deal to do the exact same thing. You say, sure. Now that team gets $10,000 extra for a player, that team doesn't. That's unfair.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem equitable. It's all semantics. Like at the end of the day, we're talking about different opportunities that are, effectively the same thing, and semantics is the difference between a player being able to get paid and not. And it's if it was going to be, all of this hassle, they shouldn't have gone about NIL the way they have. I think everybody agrees the way that NIL has kind of
the toothpaste
developed
is out of the tube.
Yeah, like they kind of jumped the gun. Their regulation wasn't there, and now they're just trying to figure out how to make things right, and it's clear that they've bitten off more than they can chew, effectively.
And the craziest part about it is because it's gone about the way it has, you already know it's not a problem. There hasn't been a cap on NIL. There hasn't been a cap on endorsements. There hasn't been any approval process. And guess what was awesome? March Madness. Guess what was really, really fun? This past college football season. Matter of fact, we're seeing a bit more parity. We're seeing teams that wouldn't be able to compete in the past be able to, because you can't make appear magically like a prestigious national championship winning history. You can go fundraise $5 million, right? Texas Tech hasn't won a football national championship. Their recruiting is through the roof right now. They'll be a new blue blood national championship contender because they're rich. So now you have Notre Dame recruiting with Touchdown Jesus and Lou Holtz and Joe Montana and Rudy and money. And you have Texas Tech now able to be on level playing field because they've got cash. But I guess I don't even know if they're going to be allowed to give it anymore because of all of this. They're going to have to find some business owner that wants to sell shoes or sell something. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. That's the issue I have with it. That's what I struggle with. I'd say it jokingly that I'm a fan of logic and reason. Right? I like when I don't understand something and I can find somebody smart who is an expert on that topic and say why, and they can go, oh, yeah, okay, let me explain it to you. And it might take a while if I'm completely unversed in that subject. Maybe they need to write it out or send me an article or a book. But I like when there's an explanation. There isn't for this. There isn't. Other than you just don't want players to get a bunch of money. And the moment somebody shows me why it is catastrophically bad for players to get more money, I can entertain it. I don't have it right now.
It's been a bad week for the NCAA with this and then the tournament expansion stuff. They're really on a hot streak right now.
I'm actually going to give them a little credit for the committee. Matter of fact, that might pop up in the Dean's List. The Dean's List is coming up next right here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Do not touch that dial.
Dennis Cox here for my good friends over at Law Tigers. If you're a motorcycle rider, I implore you, do everything possible to make sure you are safe out there on the road. There's already a risk of being on a motorcycle when you're out there and there are other vehicles around, but make sure you're doing everything possible to make sure that you have a safe ride. Make sure your bike is in proper working order. Tire pressure is a big thing. Also, wash your bike. Take care of your bike, and your bike will take care of you. Washing your bike is absolutely important to make sure you don't have gunk and buildup in the engine and the tires and the brakes. All those things that you can do before you even get out on the road can help prevent major things from possibly happening. But injuries do happen in accidents sometimes, and if you're injured in an accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you get in touch with the insurance company. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They know what you're going through after the accident, so give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Westwood One Sports presents this special tennis update sponsored by Kohl's. Make the most of summer with stylish looks from Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. The Wimbledon men's final is all set. Number 1 Jannik Sinner and number 2 Carlos Alcaraz in a rematch of their epic 5-setter in the French Open final. Sinner beat a banged-up Novak Djokovic in straight sets.
I tried, to stay calm, trying to play the best tennis I can, especially in the important moments, which today I felt like I was playing great, so I'm very happy about my performance, and let's see what's coming now in the final.
As for the 38-year-old Djokovic, he said he's planning on playing Wimbledon at least one more time. Meanwhile, Alcaraz, the two-time defending champ, beat American Taylor Fritz in 4 sets in the first semifinal. He's now won 24 matches in a row. With this tennis update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
This summer with Kohl's, you can rack up the compliments. Like, where'd you get that dress? Tell me all your makeup secrets. Or, ooh, my husband needs that polo in every color. Because Kohl's has what you need. Cute dresses, Sephora essentials, stylish polos, comfy kids clothes, and more. Plus, take 20% off some of your faves. Yep, cue the compliments with Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 20th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-444-9336. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-444-9336. That's 800-444-9336. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-444-9336.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we jump into the Dean's List, you have 1/2 hour. 30 minutes. Actually, a little less. 28 minutes. From right now to text BEEF, B-E-E-F, to 919-860-5326 to ensure that you are in the running for today's 4 o'clock chance to win your weight in meat. So this is how it works. We have 6 more opportunities to qualify a finalist. We'll qualify 10 finalists in total to potentially win their weight in meat. There are 6 remaining. Today's at 4 o'clock and every day next week, all 5 days, all 5 weekdays of next week. At 4 o'clock, we will call somebody randomly that has texted the word beef, the keyword beef, B-E-E-F, to 919-860-5326. If they pick up their phone at 4, so that's the other thing you have to do. You have to text in beef and then just be near your phone at 4 o'clock during the week, during weekdays. If you answer, we'll bring you on air. You tell us how much you weigh, and you're in the running. You're one of 10 finalists. You have a 10% chance of winning your weight in meat. Then on Monday, July 21st, one of our 10 finalists will be randomly selected, like I said. 10% chance for all of you, completely random. And that person will be called at 4 o'clock on the 21st, and they will win their weight in meat. Now, if you've already submitted, if you've already texted in beef earlier this week, like I said, we've already qualified 4 finalists. You don't have to again, right? They do roll over. We keep your name in the pool. But for everybody else, if you haven't done it yet, to get all 6 chances remaining, you have about 27 minutes now to text in beef to 919-860-5326. All brought to you by the NC Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Now let's open up class, or I should say put it in session for the Dean's List. All right, the first one, and I understand this is a little shaky, but it's the Committee for Men's and Women's Division I basketball. Because they met this week to discuss the possible expansion of the NCAA tournament, the basketball tournaments, and they made no immediate decisions or recommendations. And at this point, it's pass-fail. Either you expand the tournament from the current 68 to anything more, 72, 76, 96, all these dumb numbers we've heard. Either you expand it and fail, or you don't expand it and pass. So the fact that they did not leave those meetings with an announcement that it was going to be a bigger tournament, I'll consider that a pass. We are in pass-fail point of the semester. Because expanding it is horrendously stupid. There's so many reasons. I've done them all. But I think, and I'm not even kidding when I say this, I think the best argument for keeping the tournament the way it is the bracket fits perfectly on one sheet of printer paper. And if you go to another round, suddenly now I have to staple things together. I'm flipping through.
We're shoehorning in the extra play-in games, squeezing them in wherever we can find.
You can't just take the thumbtack and put the sheet into the wall right in front of your office or right in front of your desk at the cubicle. One sheet is perfect. There's a bunch of other reasons why 64 teams is actually perfect. 68, I'll put up with. 64 teams is perfect. There's a bunch of reasons. The further you get away from that, the worse it is. Not to mention, all right, now I'm rolling. I think, and by the way, this is not even just because I predicted Duke would win the national championship before the year last year, looking at their talent. No, I don't think I'll do it again this year, but last year they were the best team. I think it was obvious from preseason all the way through they were the best team in the country. That's not homerism, that's evaluation. And then they don't win the national championship, and I see people, how with 5 draft picks, all your starters drafted, and this guy returning, and that guy, and this, how did you not win the championship? 6 straight games of NCAA tournament is wildly random. And if you think the best team in the country wins the national championship more often than not, you're wrong, because a single elimination tournament, 6 games or more, if you're coming from the first 4, in that short period of time, it induces a lot of randomness. And the more games, the more rounds you add, the more random it is. If you want the best teams to win championships, the best teams to be in the Elite 8, to be in the Final 4, you don't add rounds. You don't. You just had a full season to figure out which teams are good. Give them some kind of honor. Do you have someone you want to add to the Dean's List, Max?
Yeah, it's somewhat related. I'm going to go with Arkansas basketball head coach John Calipari. He met with the media Wednesday. They asked him about tournament expansion, what his thoughts were, whether it should expand. His answer was simple. He just said, "Don't screw it up," and added a thumbs down. So clearly anti-expansion. He's on the same side as pretty much all the college basketball purists out there, myself included. He also added a little tidbit about transfers. He thinks players should be able to transfer once without penalty, and then beyond that, you probably just have to sit out a year, which I would honestly tend to agree with as well, to kind of keep transfers from getting like crazy out of whack like they have with like kids going to 4 schools in 4 different years. So John Calipari will go on my Dean's List. He's speaking some pretty common sense stuff here, I think.
I'll give him this. I'll agree to the one transfer thing if coaches can't coach at 3 places in any 4-year period.
He did say as part of that as well, like if the coach leaves like before you get there, you should be able to transfer penalty free.
Well, no, see, that's almost correcting it. But what if you don't want to, right?
Then he said you can stay.
The next coach is going to want his guys. My point is, I don't know why players are held to such rigorous restrictions that coaches are not, right? Even the NIL stuff we were talking about, right? Oh, we have to limit how much they can make. All right, cool. As soon as we put a limit on how much coaches can make and athletic directors can make, then I will be all in on putting a limit on how much players can make. But that's not going to happen. Next one, let's see. Justin Poirier. He's a Carolina Hurricanes 5th round 2024 NHL draft selection, who, by the way, when he was drafted, the kind of talking point that everybody had was he was the first to score 50 goals in the QMJHL as a 17-year-old since somebody you may have heard of. Sidney Crosby. So that's pretty good. But here's why. With here's why he's on the Dean's List. With the changes to the NIL rules, guys that have played in the CHL, guys that have played in the kind of Canadian pipeline to the NHL, can now decide to go play in college. So Poirier, or I might be pronouncing that incorrectly, he's going to Maine. He's going to go play at the University of Maine. I think that's cool. I think that's an underrated part of the NIL and transfers and everything else kind of world, is we're seeing guys that played alongside pros in Europe for basketball now come over and play college basketball. We're seeing guys that played in the CHL and some other quote-unquote pro or semi-pro hockey leagues in Canada get to come down and play college hockey. That's just going to make the product in college better.
Oh, yeah. Another very notable one, Gavin McKenna, the presumptive #1 overall pick, is going to play at Penn State next year, which is also still like a pretty new varsity D1 college hockey program. So that's a big get for them and big for the sport in general.
I talked about this earlier this week, but I'll say it again because it's a fun fact. The rumors are $700,000 NIL for McKenna at Penn State. Hasn't been confirmed with anyone on McKenna's camp. But like more than a couple outlets are running with the $700,000 number. For reference, Logan Stankoven has played in both the Western and Eastern Conference Finals. He's going to play this upcoming year for the Canes. Bunch more games. Pro hockey, $814,000. Now, he did sign a long-term deal. He's going to get a significant raise for the 8 years after that. But McKenna's going to be playing for Penn State, a fairly new college hockey team, for maybe $700,000.
But they also have, I think he's not even the first. He's going to be draft eligible next year. I think the 14th overall pick from this most recent draft is going to be on Penn State as well. Hopefully they ran those NIL deals in front of the NIL Go committee or whatever, because I'd hate for them not to get that money.
Or paid them before July 1st. because none of the NIL deals paid before July 1st are subject to the scrutiny of the new deals. And Will Wade, by the way, addressed that in his Will Wade, head coach, basketball, men's basketball, NC State, said, yeah, we front-loaded a bunch of our deals to July 1st. He said, like, I've been the guinea pig in paying players in the past. I'm going to let others walk through this one first and kind of see where they hit snags and then walk through the door. So there's a lot going on there. That's the Dean's List. Let's go ahead and dismiss it. Sound that bell. There it is. Bell doesn't dismiss you, I dismiss you. When we come back, there's so much excitement for the NHL, for the Carolina Hurricanes, for the new guys, right? Keandre Miller. Talk about Nikolai Ehlers, even the new guys kind of being added within the system, right? You're talking Alexander Nikishin. Are we underrating or not talking enough about how much the Canes lost? Stick around. But first, before we stick around and start talking about what the Canes have lost, let's talk Maynard Service Company. Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company, where it is a great time. And this is one of those deals where the best time to think about cooling maintenance, and Maynard Service Company works on your heating system, cooling system, plumbing, electric, both huge repairs when you absolutely need them, and maintenance. The best time to think about cooling maintenance, probably a couple months ago, before you started overusing your air conditioner, before it was 90 degrees so often and we were having all these storms and all this humidity. But the next best time to think about cooling maintenance is right now, right? If you've been overworking your system, or if maybe it's not running as efficiently as you wanted to, or you're used to seeing it, or maybe you're hearing a sound or two, something's not right. Get them out there right now before the big problem, right? Before it's 100 degrees outside and you've got company over and your air conditioner breaks. Get them now. Call Maynard Service Company. They'll come out. They'll look at your system. They'll do some maintenance. They'll make sure it's running at its top efficiency and make sure there's not any glaring issues that are going to come back to bite you. That goes for your cooling system, obviously, and, we're not that far away from football season, not that far away from football weather, so maybe you get them to check out your heating system for a little maintenance as well. Give them a call, talk about all the options, and bookmark the number for when you do have those emergencies and you need something fixed quickly, right? Plumbing emergencies, you don't want to be looking up the number. You want to already have it saved in your phone. The number is 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit MaynardServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. When we come back, how much are you going to miss Brent Burns? What about Dmitry Orlov? Are you underselling how much you're going to miss them? Stick around.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So, when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone, available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5, or 2 Bird Dog Combo for just $8.25. Available for a limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in the Triangle. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? It's all here, only with Spectrum TV Select. Popular apps are included. Disney Plus, Max, Peacock Premium, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, and more. And live TV for sports, entertainment, and news. Enjoy across your devices no matter when or where you are. Get Spectrum TV Select and start streaming your favorites today. It's all here. Visit spectrum.com/entertainment. Restrictions apply.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Now that it's hot outside, everybody's spending more time outside. And I have noticed that there are people that have gutter issues, whether there's stuff still stuck up there or a gutter hanging off the house. You can help.
Absolutely, Adam. And let me tell you this. If you're looking up and it looks like a garden in your gutters, you need to call the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. We have the gutter helmet, which will keep you from cleaning out the inside of your gutters for as long as you own the home. We can also replace the existing gutters. We can replace any rotten wood. We're a one-stop shop company that can take care of all your home improvement needs, whether it's gutters, windows, siding, doors, roofing. We really can turnkey the whole project and make an easy, comfortable payment through some of our 12-month interest-free financing options, and then you get a lifetime warranty at the end of it all.
12 months interest-free?
You heard that right.
12 months interest-free. AluminumCompany.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You have just a few more minutes if you want to be eligible for today's finalist qualification in our Win Your Weight and Meat competition. Text BEEF, B-E-E-F, to our text line, 919-860-5326 for your shot at becoming a finalist. At 4 o'clock, really not that long from right now. At 4 o'clock, we're going to call one of you that has sent in beef to 919-860-5326. All you have to do is answer your phone, jump on air, tell us how much you weigh. We don't judge, but we got to know it for Win Your Weight and Meat. Actually, we'll probably be excited if we get a good number up there. Somebody posts a new high. That's actually what we're looking for here. But if you're a little bit more svelte, we appreciate that as well. Everybody's welcome. But you have to text in beef is what I'm saying. Text in beef to 919-860-5326. And you might be one of our 10 finalists, of which one will be randomly selected to win their weight in meat. Brought to you by the NC Beef Council. Beef. So what's for dinner?
Some people are better suited to win that. Like, I don't think I would be getting the maximum value from that promotion.
You know what? It might be, it's always because I'm like, I don't know, 210, 6'4". Like I'll say what I am. And a lot of people, like, if you're walking next to them, they're taller guys, they're like, oh, your strides are so, look, I got to take 2 steps for every one of yours. I'm like, yeah, but my leg is bigger. So we're like, I'm doing the work, right? It's even. So if you're a bigger person, you get more weight or more meat when you win your weight in meat, but you probably also eat more. So it might be a same amount of meals situation here. You know what I'm getting at?
This is true.
Like where I might get a triple burger, some of you might be getting a double burger or a single burger, and it's all evening out. I might go with the tomahawk steak with 64 ounces. You might be comfortable with a little, a nice little well cooked New York strip. And the bigger guys than me,
linemen, who
they might be really throwing down. I think I've told this story on air. But when I was in college playing at the University of Delaware, our media team did a day in the life of me, which was very boring. It was like wake up, work out, go to class, watch film, go to sleep. Like, they were not excited. But the one thing they were really excited for was we were at a team meal, and I took the little camera they gave me, and I showed my plate, which was full. Don't get me wrong. There was no space on the plate. I'm trying to gain weight. And then I looked over at the plate next to me, which was one of my left tackles. And when I tell you he has a career as a Jenga expert because he built vertically, the balance was unreal. And it was a real funny visual. And it led to us getting into me and him pairing up to be in a eating contest against volleyball players. They had 4 against our 2, smoked them. But you see how much an offensive lineman eats. It's crazy. So if we get an O-lineman calling in, or we call an offensive lineman and they qualify, I mean, if we're being real, 315 of 300 pounds of meat to my left tackle is less meals than probably 400 pounds for me, or 200 pounds for me would have been, right? They're eating that much more. It's crazy. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to have to just start a conversation here, and we might have to finish it later on because this is a conversation that needs more time. But I do want to get the nuts and bolts out here because just in case you can't listen later. ESPN put out a ranking. And I know this is ranking season. This is list season. And part of the annoying part of like the Foxes and the ESPN, like the television, is somebody in the morning show will say something crazy, and then the afternoon show will react to what was said on the morning show. And I'm going like, you just created this whole thing. But I do like when they use numbers to create rankings. Okay? So they use numbers. A statistic called net GAR, or net goals above replacement. Goals above replacement in hockey, it's like WAR, or it's any of these analytics that are supposed to encapsulate your entire value as a player. I don't pretend to know all of the equations or algorithms that go into it, but it is numbers based rather than I like this guy because I watched him. And what they did is they took the goals above or below replacement for all of the players each NHL team lost this offseason, so like free agents that went elsewhere, guys that retired, who they traded away, and they totaled up that, and then they did the same for all the new players, right? The players that they added, that they signed in free agency, that they traded for, whatever. And then they found the net by subtracting one from the other, right? So if you lost a bunch of studs and you brought in nobody, you're the Dallas Stars. But also that if you lost a bunch of studs and you didn't bring in anybody, or at least not nobody of huge value, you would have a large negative number. And if you lost nobody, but you brought in a bunch of studs, you had the best offseason in the history of the world, you have a huge positive number. And then they ranked the entire league by that number. And I think if we polled Canes fans right now and said, where do you think the Canes finish in that ranking? Most would go, well, the two biggest contracts of new signees, right? Ehlers and Miller. They're the two big fish. They got them both. We got to be right at the top.
Yeah, you asked me earlier. I said top 5, maybe top 3.
And I would have been right there with you if I wasn't actively reading the list. And you can probably tell by the way I'm setting up this story. It's not top 5. It's not top 10. It's not top half of the league. It's not top 20. They were 25th. Only 7 teams in the league lost more value in goals above replacement than the Carolina Hurricanes. They added 18.8, bulk of that being Ehlers and Miller. They lost 25.2 goals above replacement, the bulk of that being Burns and Orlov. Burns was credited with 13 positive goals above replacement. Orlov, 19.3. This pause right now that I'm taking is for all of you to gasp and to go, that's not what I expected, because you do need a minute to let that sink in. You do need a minute to let that sink in. My question is, right, because oftentimes when the numbers line up this way, I go, all right, what did our brain miss, right? Because numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, kids lie, numbers don't, right? So the numbers are telling us one thing. I'm going, are we underreacting? Did they are at this time next year, are we going to go, oh no, how did we not know that Burns and Orlov were the keys? Just like the numbers said. I don't think that's where we're going to be. I think the numbers are missing a few things that are very important. I think the right lesson at the end of Moneyball is players aren't numbers. They are human, and there are things that go into that. But this is essentially just going to be the best tease for that conversation because we're up against it at the top of the hour. We have to make sure we call our Win Your Weight and Meat potential finalist and get to football at 4. But I'll promise you this, at 4:15, 20 minutes from now, we'll come back to this Canes conversation because I'm not done with it. 4:15, we will come back to it. Don't let me forget, Max. When we return in the immediate future, Win Your Weight and Meat. We will call one of the lucky texters, somebody that texted in beef to 919-860-5326. Call them up, give them a chance to be one of our 10 finalists who will potentially win their weight in meat. All brought to you by the NC Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Don't go anywhere.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing. Made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories. All without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew. 30 seconds. That's it. Done. Peace.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, faucets, vanities, doors, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through July 18th. Not a member? Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WREL Severe Weather Center. Highs this afternoon will reach into the low 90s. Heat index values pushing just over 100 degrees. Some isolated showers and storms are possible, but a much lower rain chance in the past couple of days. Some localized flooding is also possible.
Weather report brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 299 points to 44,351.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Little Meatloaf coming out of break.
It's the only meat-related artist I could think of to play for
I get
rejoin.
it. I get it. How did that one fly right under the radar? We're trying to give away somebody's weight in meat. By the way, we did call one of the texters, Beef, that texted in Beef to 919-860-5326. They have 5 minutes to return our call if they, or I guess pick up if we're calling right now. But they have 5 minutes. If not, we will go on to the next, and we will qualify a finalist for a Win Your Weight in Meat competition in this hour. So if you did text in Beef, keep your phone on. Put it on loud. Make sure it has good reception. All of that, and you might become a finalist to Win Your Weight in Meat. Brought to you by the NC Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Meatloaf, because we were giving away meat. How did I miss it? It does look like Max his lips are moving, which I think means he's talking to somebody on there on the phone, which means we likely have a potential finalist for our Win Your Weight in Meat competition. All they have to do is jump on the air here in a second or two and give us their weight. That's it, and then they will be our fifth and final finalist of this week. We do have 5 more opportunities at 4 o'clock each weekday next week in order to bring them on. All right, Max, what is the name of this caller?
I believe he said his name was Michael.
Michael, where are you calling from?
I'm here in Apex.
Michael in Apex. I think I might be misremembering this, but I think you're our third out of 5 that is named Mike or Michael.
You know what? That's a good name.
He is the second Michael.
As good as any. Who was first? Who was the first of the week last week?
It was from Wednesday.
No, I'm saying who was the Monday?
Oh, David.
David. I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking that was Michael. Either way, Michael, you're our second Michael. It's still a good name. All you have to do to be a finalist is let us know your weight.
My weight is 238 pounds.
238. I like it. That could be a nice prize for you if you are the winner. I will give you the same piece of advice that I've given all the other callers that we've selected to be one of the finalists. Make sure you have your phone on. Make sure it is somewhere you will hear it. If it's on vibrate, you will feel it. On July 21st, that's a Monday at 4 o'clock, because that is when we are going to call the winner, and you have a 1 in 10 chance of being that winner.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you very much. Look forward to it.
Thank you very much as well. Stay on the line. Max has some info he needs to grab from you, but you are officially registered. Again, if you want to have the same experience that Michael in Apex just had, being named a finalist, all you have to do is text in beef. And then keep your phone on at 4 o'clock every weekday next week. Text BEEF to 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Your shot becoming a finalist. Brought to you by the NC Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner. That is a real Mandela effect moment for those of you that know that phrase, because I would have sworn David on Monday's first name was Mike. But got to move on. Got to let that out of the brain, because right now it is football at 4.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
Football at 4. Although this week it's like football at 4:03 because we gotta qualify our meat contestants. But football at 4. There is very much those that know and those that don't know about the Carolina Panthers right now. And I'm not disrespecting those that don't. I think one of the harder things to do in media, and I've tried to do this at different stops along, and I know how difficult it is to be an expert or be asked to be an expert on every team. National media personalities, they do not have it easy. Do you know why? Because there's people like us that are only tasked with being an absolute expert on one team. So we get to spend 32 times as much of our energy, resources, and time on the Carolina Panthers as they do, right? And if we're being real, media personalities probably spend half their time on the Cowboys. So it's even more difficult, right? So then you see some articles and things, and you're like, well, that's not right, or they're missing the point there. They're not doing it right there. And it's unfair to them because, I don't have to know who the backup defensive tackle is for the Los Angeles Chargers. I can look it up if we have that conversation, but they have to know it for the Panthers, right? And it's not really fair. So ESPN put out offseason grades, okay? They gave letter grades to every team in the NFL based on how their offseason went. And we'll just rip the Band-Aid off. It was a C. It was a C. I mean, it's passing, right? C's get degrees.
It's average.
But you're probably not stoked with it. And if you're a Panther fan, you probably felt better about your offseason because Dan Morgan and Dave Canales is so optimistic and Teteroa McMillan felt like he fell into your lap and all of these things. Trayvon Merrick is supposedly going to solve the safety woes and all of these things. C, I'm okay with. I'm not going to argue the letter grade. However, when you dive into the reasoning and you see things that are like, you're just missing it, that's frustrating, right? It actually goes back to school, if I'm being real. Like math, if I go in there and I'm like, hey, this test, what the heck? Look at my grade. That's bad. And they go like, well, yeah, the answer was 8. You gave 9. The answer was 32X and you gave 47Y. It's like, all right, I'm fine. I'm going to leave. But like a paper or something, I'm like, why'd I get a bad grade? And they just didn't see what I was going for. That's more frustrating. So I just don't think that the national media notices what's going on with the Panthers. For example, in their explanation, the move they disliked the most was signing defensive tackle Tershawn Wharton, a.k.a. Turk Wharton, guy that comes from the Chiefs. They called Turk Wharton an overpay at 3 years, $15 million per year, with a little more than $30 million fully guaranteed. And maybe, but also guys with 8.5 sacks last year are not going to come cheap anywhere. I don't want to say they overpaid. They paid probably market rate for somebody with that production from that team. He's coming from the Chiefs, right? You're going to have to pay a little extra to get that winning glow, right? That culture setter that can tell you how Mahomes runs a franchise. I'm being half facetious, but that's how it works. Here's the explanation. I'll read it word for word before I announce my nitpick. Wharton recorded 8.5 sacks for the Chiefs between the regular season and playoffs last season, but his below-average 7% pass rush win rate at defensive tackle makes me awfully wary about that sack production continuing, especially since he won't have Chris Jones drawing double teams and causing disruption. There are also questions about Wharton's run-stopping ability. I don't think his contract was worth the cost. That's their explanation. Which opinion? Cool. This is where Panther fans are going, are you forgetting about Derek Brown?
That was my thought exactly. I was like, oh, yeah, they just have this other guy over there named, I don't know, Derek Brown.
Chris Jones drawing double teams. Oh, I don't know why he would not have, like, he's used to playing next to Chris Jones, who draws double teams. He is going to be completely out of water playing alongside Derek Brown, who draws double teams. There are questions about his ability to stop the run. Derek Brown got that. Derek Brown's the best run-stuffing interior defensive tackle in the league. 103 tackles the last time he played a healthy full season. 103 tackles from interior defensive line. It's a lot of tackles for an off-ball linebacker. Turk Wharton wouldn't work everywhere. And I'm not saying he's going to work with the Panthers, right? Because, anytime you bring in a new player, there are just inherent differences, right? There are inherent questions that you don't know how it's going to add up. But he's not going to show up in Carolina and be number one on the scouting report, circled and double-teamed. He is going to get in where he fits in, just like he got in where he fit in with the Chiefs. And if they are not giving Derek Brown the same level of attention that they were giving Chris Jones or other great defensive linemen because they now have to focus more on Turk Wharton, I don't care if Turk Wharton doesn't get a sack all season because Derek Brown is going to be eating their lunch without that attention. I don't agree with every move they made, okay? If you give them a C and you say something like, well, they spent a bunch of money on a run-stuffing safety, and they don't have somebody to play the center field portion of the field. They don't have a true coverage safety. I can get on board with that. If you say you give them a C, and it's because J.C. Horn isn't the best defensive back in NFL history, and you gave him at the time the highest-paid contract in NFL history, I'd be okay with that. I still think you pay your guys. I still think he has the potential. I didn't hate the move when it happened. I'd like it to be a little bit less, but if it's what it took, it's what it took. If you had to pay a little bit of a Panther tax to get a guy to stick around despite all the losing, you got to do it. But if those were your reasons, cool. The move they liked the most, you ready for this? Like the $2 million or whatever they gave Rico Dowdle. That was the move they liked the most. I'm not saying that's a bad signing. I'm saying you made Chuba Hubbard by cap hit one of the top 16, 17 running backs in the NFL, and you drafted a running back in the 4th round. Great value on a guy that could step in if Chuba Hubbard gets hurt, I guess. The Panthers are always going to have a shroud of mystery around them until they get back to the levels they were with Cam Newton, right? Until they get back to that 2015 kind of era, because there's just not a lot of attention being paid to them other than looking at final scores and giggling. There's 0% chance if instead of the Panthers, they sign. We were looking at the breakdown of, any of the golden children of the NFL right now. If it were the Bills, the Ravens, the Chargers, right? Anyone with one of these quarterbacks that everybody's excited about, there's 0% chance that certain things would be overlooked like that. But that's what you're up against. Until you're winning, until you're playing more primetime games, until you have some superstars, they're not even going to know everything about you. You got to make them want to know everything about you. And it goes back to what we talked about with the NFL Top 100. Panthers aren't going to have anybody. They're going to have 0 of the top 100 players in the league. Do you think, by the way, as voted by their peers, as voted by their players, you're going to be a bit unknown, right? Maybe that's an advantage. Maybe it's fantastic that everybody forgot about Derek Brown. So Jacksonville can get punched in the face in game 1 and go, who was that? As if, scouting reports don't go back 2 years, just 1. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have a ladder challenge to get to, but also we have to finish that Canes conversation. Are you worried, now that you've seen some numbers, that Dmitry Orlov and Brent Burns are going to be missed more than you thought for the Carolina Hurricanes? Stick around.
Evan Canty and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
He's got Derrick Henry. He's got other weapons. Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. The defense took a big step up last year, and now you add Jair Alexander. You have a head coach who's won a Super Bowl. If it's not Lamar Jackson, I don't know who has more pressure on him heading into this season.
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
You'll be one smart cookie when you try Bluebell Cookie Cake Ice Cream. A sweet cream ice cream loaded with chocolate chip cookie cake pieces and swirls of chocolate and vanilla icing. This cookie cake ice cream really takes the cake.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream, now available at Wegmans.
Did you catch Luisito's header?
Yeah, I just recorded it on my new Samsung A36 5G phone I got for free at Total Wireless.
Oh, I'm actually live streaming the whole match with my new Samsung Tab A9 that I also got free at Total Wireless.
I got that tablet too.
And I got that phone too. We both got both.
Go!
Switch to Total Wireless and get both the Samsung A36 5G and the Samsung Tab A9 for free. For a limited time while supplies last, valid in store. Requires new phone activation on the Total 5G Unlimited plan or higher external port and ID verification and new activation on the Total 5G Unlimited 6-month tablet plan. Restrictions apply.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, faucets, vanities, doors, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through July 18th. Not a member? Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So earlier, I painted this picture for you, and I'll give you the Cliff Notes version of it, just so we can jump into the juicy, meaty part of the conversation. The Canes were not where I expected in a ranking that ESPN put out of net goals above replacement added or lost this postseason. And basically what that means, goals above replacement, it's like WAR, wins above replacement from other sports. It's an analytic to judge how effective a player was. And I expected the Canes to be near the top of the league in biggest improvement there. But it turns out they were near the bottom of the league. So they have lost, players leaving their roster this offseason, 25.2 goals above replacement. They have gained or added 18.8. The 18.8, the positive that they've added, largely comes from Nikolai Ehlers and Keandre Miller, their two big, flashy, long-term deal additions. The 25.2 they lost almost exclusively comes from Brent Burns and Dmitry Orlov. Brent Burns, 13 goals above replacement credited for this past year. Orlov, 9.3. And suddenly you see maybe why other teams paid them more than I expected them to get paid. Colorado and San Jose. That does lead to a question, right? And it's just a question, not an answer. Okay, so this is not me saying something is happening, but you have to ask it when you see that kind of number. By the way, I'm not sure if I said it in this segment. They were 25th in the NHL. So they had actually lost 6.3 goals above replacement based on their signings and departures this offseason. Only 7 teams lost more. Everybody else lost less or gained. There is a human element that analytics will never get. There is a human element that goals above replacement will never understand. And on top of that, there is a projection element that goals above replacement, which is a past statistic, will never understand. I often say, actually, let's break this down to 2 spots. There's Burns and there's Orlov, okay? Because I think moving on from them was smart in both instances, but for different reasons. One, Burns, I always say it's better to move on from a player 1 year too early rather than 1 year too late. And once you start counting your age with a 4 in front of it instead of a 3, you start to get to the point where you're flirting with it, right? You don't want to pay the guy 1 year past his best if used by date. And I know Brent Burns is an unbelievable physical specimen, and he's in unbelievable condition, and he wins all of the conditioning things. But Father Time is undefeated is a saying for a reason. So maybe he'll be great for Colorado this year. Maybe he'll be a 13 goals above replacement player for Colorado this year. I can almost guarantee he'll be great on the penalty kill for Colorado this year because that's what he does. And he's done it for a long time. But maybe this is the year he looks 40-something. Right? The 13 goals above replacement that he was credited with last year that goes into this equation that makes Carolina look like they lost so much is all in the past. Everybody is 1 year older when they step on the ice next year. And also, don't forget who Burns skated with. I've been on skates like 30 times in my life. You put me next to Jacob Slavin, they're going to be like, he's not as bad as you thought he was.
The numbers will look real good.
I mean, he's very rarely near the puck and almost never possesses it. But somehow he's a positive plus minus.
When he's on the ice, somehow the other team's just not scoring. I don't know what it is.
I'm joking, but only kind of, right? Playing with Jacob Slavin makes your numbers look a lot better when you take into account just success on the ice. Like when you are on the ice, it looks better. It just does. All right, so Burns, it's. I think it was the right move to move on, but it's mostly a projection thing, and it's mostly a credit to Slavin. Orlov is different. Do we have the audio from Orlov? Orlov spoke to the San Jose media for the first time, right? He signed a deal, what is it, $6.5 million per year, which is $2 or $3 million more than I thought he was going to sign for. But credit to him. Get your money. And he was, I would say, not the nostalgic, positive reminiscer of his time in Carolina that Brent Burns was. Brent Burns talks about Carolina and Rod Brindamore as if it was like, high school, right? Like it was the best time. Oh, my buddies. Oh, it was great. Orlov was not that, and we have some audio for you from those kind of introductory comments with the Sharks. Here's Orlov.
Far away, I used to always play in Eastern Conference, and right now it's moved to Western. It's different, and we're actually pretty excited. Like I know it's kind of rebuilt, but you got to have a lot of good young players, and obviously for me, I just wanna change a little bit, and especially like last 2 years, it wasn't easy for me mentally, so I kind of just tried to move far away, and with new team, with new basically life for me, lifestyle, more travel, and it just it's gonna be interesting, and I actually pretty excited for that.
I'll give you just the things that stood out to me. The last 2 years were not easy for him. He basically wanted to move as far away from Carolina as you could. Ends up in San Jose. I think there's a little resentment there that I was catching. I don't know if you guys were picking up on it the same way I was. And that's the human element. Maybe Orlov has way more in the tank than I think he does. Maybe, we're all blinded by, or that's not the right term, tunnel visioned to a few turnovers and a few bad games, one particular in the postseason that I think jumps out to a lot of us. There's these negatives that maybe they're glaring, right? And they're shining their light of negativity in our eyes and blocking us from all the good he did. Maybe. But also maybe his time in Carolina ran its course. And maybe a defenseman who 2 off seasons ago, not this one, not the last one, the previous, when he signed with Carolina, he was one of the big fish in the free agency class. He was the kind of the big fish defenseman. And when he chose Carolina, right, you had one of the big fish in the free agency class on the blue line going to a team that is perennially near the top in fewest goals allowed. It felt like a joining of forces that was going to lead to unbelievable new heights, and it just never got there. And 2 years later, he's still standing there with his palms up going like, what happened? This was supposed to be the Marvel movie. I was supposed to be a new superhero, and it didn't happen. Now, Orlov will have a heavy shot until he hangs up his skates. And matter of fact, maybe even after that. You ever see like Chris Mullin just pick up a basketball and knock down like 8 threes in a row? Like Orlov, if he ever just walks through a rink and is like, hey, you know what? Give me a stick. He'll be able to fire a hammer from distance. So he'll have his moments in San Jose. And also probably, won't have as many other guys that are, taking up production. So there's more usage available in San Jose. And he'll get to be a veteran amongst some really talented young guys. And maybe that'll rejuvenate him. Maybe. But you won't convince me that his time in Carolina didn't run its course. Sometimes it's just time to go. And then, yes, those negatives are still popping up in my brain. Those turnovers. That game where you gave up all the goals in the postseason. Like that's still standing there. So I don't think, even if they play great, even if Burns is still great on the PK, and even if Orlov, gets power play opportunities and scores some goals, even if all that happens, you will not hear me lamenting that they left. Especially when you think about who's replacing them. Sometimes you just got to make way for somebody who's more talented.
I mean, surely when he came in, he didn't think he would be playing like top pairing over Jacob Slavin. Surely not. I understand that they brought him in as the highest paid defenseman on the team, but
there's no way. And even if he did when he came in, there were like 4 practices in, he had to go, oh, actually, no, it's cool. Like if he didn't like playing with Jalen Chatfield, then then get him out, right? Jalen Chatfield is I think one of the more fun guys. Again, without any skating history, he looks like one of the more fun guys to skate with on a defensive pairing because he has speed to cover you in a lot of ways, and he's pretty unselfish. Now, you look towards who's going to be the new blue liners in their spot. It's Alexander Nikishin and Keontre Miller. You never regret making room for those guys on the blue line. You don't. You don't. Alexander Nikishin had to have a spot. Somebody's got to go.
I think his inclusion this year, that might be something that kind of threw off that ESPN rating because maybe they just weren't able to calculate the potential impact of a guy coming in who hasn't played in the NHL really yet, other than a couple postseason games. Obviously, we know, having watched his
grainy
stats and his
KHL
tape.
footage.
Yeah, so obviously we know that we expect him to come in and be a pretty big difference maker and hopefully play even above the level of a Orlov or a Burns. But I'm thinking maybe their model just wasn't able to account for that.
Yes, I mean that's quite frankly, it's not maybe they couldn't because it was all based on NHL plus minus or NHL, goals above replacement. But every team you would think has somebody. Yeah, actually, I shouldn't say every team. A good amount of teams have somebody in their system that is being called up or a draft pick that they're excited about. None of those teams got credit for that. Some teams have absolutely nothing in their farm system, but that's their problem, not ours. And then the last point I'll make is even if that point that Max just made didn't exist, even if Nikishin wasn't there, and even if Brent Burns was 37 instead of in his 40s, and even if Orlov didn't say that these last 2 years were tough for him and he had to get as far away as he could. Even if none of that happened, I still think I'd be okay with these moves because you can only run it back so many times before you're going to lose your enthusiasm. I'm not saying anybody's going to not love hockey or not want to win the cup, but there are years where you bring everybody back. And you go, nobody's leaving, we're going to keep the squad together. If you do that too many times and you keep falling short, it's like, what are we doing here? Right? What something different. You got to try something. You got to take a risk somewhere. Because the dirty little secret about something like the Alexander Nikishin situation is maybe it doesn't work. I've seen in every sport can't miss prospects miss. And who knows why, right? Maybe just playing in another country, the lifestyle. Who knows? Maybe it doesn't work. I won't lament them for that either. I'll be sitting there going, it was a chance you had to take because you had seen it with these other guys. You had seen it with them. Now, if you made a bunch more changes up on the forwards, if you made a bunch like a goalie change or something, then maybe I wouldn't be saying you got to do something on the blue line. But for the most part, you add Ehlers, you couple shuffling window dressings with the forwards. Safety, or I almost said safeties. I'm in football season already. Goalies are the same, right? Last line of defense. Goalies are the same. Something had to change. Something had to change. Moving on from the old guys, that's usually a pretty good thing to do. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's the Canes conversation. Now, as promised, we can jump into a little ladder challenge. Ladder challenge is very simple. Traditionally, it's a month-to-month competition between myself and Dennis Cox, who's the usual producer for the show. But when we have fill-ins like Max, we make it a one-day ladder challenge. 3 bets each, $10 each bet. Whoever has the most money tomorrow, or for this case, Monday, is the winner. As the guest, the honors are yours. You get to go first, Max.
All right, I got the tee box here. Okay.
There you go.
First off, I'm going to go with one. Statistics back up this pick as of recently, the last couple years. We got the Wimbledon men's final on Sunday. Is Jannik Sinner going up against Carlos Alcaraz. Alcaraz has beaten Sinner the last 5 times they've played. Although Sinner has beaten him the only time they've played on grass in Wimbledon a couple years ago. But given the recent trends, recent form, I'm going to stick with Carlos Alcaraz. Carlitos, he is minus 137 to win, so $10. Win would return $17.30.
I'm big on appreciating greatness, and that's even in sports that I'm not a huge fan of. So the last 10, 15 years, I've been big on appreciate Federer on his last run, appreciate Nadal as he, held his body together with duct tape and gum for a while there. Djokovic, same thing. It is, if you appropriately appreciated those guys, and I know Djokovic is still rocking, but if you accurately appreciated those guys, it is kind of fun to see the Sinners and the Alcarazes and kind of the next
generation of the big
wrestling
stars
for the throne. It's it's different, and I do appreciate it. Even as, I'm not somebody that, grinds the lower level tournaments of tennis. I'll watch the Grand Slam finals if they're players like that, and that's about it.
I was in here watching the Sinner had just beaten Djokovic earlier today to get into the final.
Yep.
We were watching that in here. It is sad to see he had some injury troubles, and he's definitely a little bit older for a prime athlete, but it's still good.
He'll have a few more swan songs. He's not done.
Yeah, he did say he wanted to play Wimbledon at least one more time today, I think. So it's not his last run, not his last dance. We'll see if he has another Grand Slam in him.
I think he does. I think he's got one or two more, just because, there's certain days. How old is he? Almost 40?
He's 38, I believe.
As somebody that is 34, but I played football, so the body got beat up a little bit. There are certain days you feel good, right? There's certain days you're working out and you're like, one of those days. We're the knees aren't cracking.
Yeah,
we're good.
And he was looking good early. He had a bad fall at his end of his last match. So maybe if that didn't happen, it would have been more competitive. But I digress.
Then there are other days where you do your first squat and you're like, you know what, upper body day, because I almost got stuck in the bottom that time. So he'll have those days also, and he'll exit in the second round. But I think he's got a couple more wins. My first ladder challenge. I'm looking. I've had some success here with betting overs and strikeouts. I did it with your boy on the Red Sox, I believe, last time.
Yeah, Garrett Crochet.
Last time you were here. I'm going with Tarek Skubal, the Detroit Tigers ace, taking on Seattle tonight, and I'm teasing it up. 10 or more strikeouts. His number is like 8.5 for over/under. I'm teasing it up, so I'm going 10 or more. Skubal's tied for first in the big leagues in strikeouts per 9 innings with 11.483, tied with Wheeler. Seattle, who he's up against, despite, multiple All-Stars, Cal Raleigh's having a heck of a season, they're second highest in the league in strikeout percentage, 26.1. So you pair those two things together, I think Skubal could walk away with a whole bunch of strikeouts. So give me 10 or more for the ace. It's plus 210, turn my $10 into 31.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good pitcher over there. He's like one of the better lefties in the AL. He's no Crochet.
I was gonna say, as far as statistics,
he's solid.
He's
Cy Young winner, whatever.
I was gonna say he might be the top. I'm not trying to rain on the parade.
Whatever. All right. Well,
statistically speaking, I mean, eye test is all your boy, but statistically speaking, it's probably Skubal.
I'm gonna stay at the All England Lawn Tennis Club at Center Court. Go to the women's final. Iga Swiatek taking on Amanda Anisimova in the final tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to go with Swiatek, former number 1 player in the world. Anisimova, kind of an underdog, made her way to the final. Swiatek has not won, I believe, a tournament since the French Open last year, so she's due. She's hungry for a win. And she took down Bencic in the other semifinal in pretty quick work. Didn't look to be struggling too much out there. So I'll take Swiatek, and I'll take her to win 2-0. That is even money, plus 100. $10 win would return $20.
So one of the things I'm experimenting with here in ladder challenges is I've been a little aggressive. I'm taking a lot of like plus 200, plus 900. I'm gonna try to just cash a ticket here. I'm going minus 160 on the bet. I'm taking Paul Skeens to allow under 4.5 hits versus Minnesota. Similar statistical reasons to my first bet. Skeens, the young wonderkin for the Pirates, he's third best in the league at allowing the fewest hits per 9, less than 6 hits per 9 innings. Minnesota has the 8th worst batting average in the league. So pair those two things together, assuming he doesn't go, 8 innings, I don't see him giving up more hits than his average to a team that's well below average as a hitter. So Minnesota, under 4.5 hits against Paul Skeens. Minus 160, as I mentioned, turn my $10 into $16.25.
It's always good to ride with the aces. Like that's a big strategy
for
you
little
these
theme
days.
here. Little theme here. I was getting too deep in. You see, when you only pop in, you don't see like how I ended up here.
Yeah,
I was getting too deep in the weeds with some of these bets.
Yeah,
going to fourth starters on the Astros, only pitching because of injuries to 2 other guys, and no.
You got to find your edge wherever you
got. I mean, just go to what we know. I go to what we know. Stars.
I'm going to something I know very well here. If for those watching on YouTube, you can see my shirt. I'm wearing the Brandon Miller jersey T-shirt for the Hornets. Last pick, I'm going to go with the Hornets in Summer League, and the odds have actually jumped because since we started the show, they actually announced that Ace Bailey will not be playing for the Jazz Summer League team tonight against the Hornets. So when I wrote it down, it was plus 198. The odds have now jumped to plus 152 for the Hornets, so still underdogs. I don't know if I get credit for the new odds or the old ones. I'll leave it up to your discretion.
No, whenever you locked it in, if you wrote it down, that counts.
So I wrote it down earlier this afternoon with plus 198. $10 win returns $29.80.
I'm not 100% sure Ace Bailey not playing helps your cause.
Yeah, he wasn't one of their best players in that original. Was it California Classic this year, or maybe it was in Utah? But the like Summer League before Summer League, he wasn't looking great.
He is the way he impacts games, and I'm learning about him. I watched one of his Rutgers games, but I was more watching for Harper, his teammate. The more I learned about him, he's a guy who the way he impacts games is kind of scoring. So he's gonna keep trying. You might shoot yourself out of it a little bit, but
I'm so excited to see the Hornets play, and I'm actually going on Monday to Vegas to see them play against Cooper Flagg too. So I'm super hyped up on their Summer League team. I think they're gonna be pretty good.
My last ladder challenge. Speaking of stars, and this one is plus 950. So I'm swinging for the fences, both metaphorically and in the pick. Pete Crow Armstrong and Aaron Judge to combine for 2 or more home runs. Cubs reliever Chris Flexen is starting for the Cubs, so he'll be an opener. He'll pitch an inning or 2, and then it's a bullpen game for the Cubs. If you're rotating people in there, Aaron Judge is going to catch one of them. And Pete Crow Armstrong has been as hot as anybody this year. As a former Mets fan, who he was in the system for the Mets, and they traded him for – never mind. They should still have Pete Crow Armstrong, and they don't. So if he's going to be successful, I'm at least going to make some money on it since I'm going to be sad every time he's in an MVP race like he is this year. And then the other thing is this. Aaron Judge averages a home run every 10.1 at-bats. He has gone 8 at-bats without a homer, so at some point in this game, he'll be due.
He's due.
Turn 10 into 105. If I hit that, I'll cruise to a victory. But they both have to hit a home run. That's what I'm looking for. All right, that's the ladder challenge here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Well, actually, let's do this real quick because we only have a couple of minutes here. As you heard, Max is going to be in appearance, boots on the ground, whatever you want to call it. They're in the flesh, watching the Hornets Summer League. Where actually are you going? Is it in Vegas?
Vegas, yeah. It's at the Thomas and Mack Center's UNLV.
All right, give us the, in order, 3 players you're most excited to see.
Number 1 for me is probably Ryan Kalkbrenner. With the Hornets, the need they have at center.
Early second-round pick, got a contract that is very favorable for a second-rounder.
He's massive. He can shoot a little bit, but I'm really excited to see if he can kind of bring that rim protection and physical presence.
Big East Defensive Player of the Year?
I believe he was 4-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. So that is something the Hornets have needed at center for a while, and I'm hoping to see that.
Shots fired at Mark Williams. You don't think he's a rim protector? All right.
He had some effort issues. Well, we won't
His back
on
hurts.
that too long.
His back hurts.
Yeah. Concanipple, obviously super excited to see him. Hopefully he'll be knocking down shots.
We've seen him a bunch of times.
Can never have too many shooters. And then the third one, it's not going to be a new draft pick. I'm just hoping to see a jump from, and I said this yesterday to my buddies, we share season tickets for the Hornets, so we're always talking about our takes on the team, and my big take is I think Tijon Salon is going to make a jump and be a useful player for the Hornets this season. So I'm hoping to see him, put some good tape out there, make some good plays, look like maybe a little more comfortable and adjusted to the game at the pro level. And yeah, I'm hoping he can be like a good switching defender, can guard like maybe not 1 through 5, but like 1 through 4. And just give you a little bit of offense and not have, because I think at some point he had like the worst 3-point or shooting percentage of a rookie through however many games he had played last year, like ever. So hoping to see a little bit of progress from him as well. But I think he has the tools. We always knew he was going to be very raw. So how season development. How
Hornets is it that the 6th overall pick going into his second year, you're like, I think he could be a useful, if everything goes right, he could be a useful rotational guy.
Exactly.
Not
it's very
the worst
Hornets.
ever. He was the 6th pick last year.
The Charlotte Hornets.
He's very Hornets, but I am hoping to see some stuff from him. It was I always thought it was a reach then, but he has some physical tools. He has something that they can work on, and I think a year off, through the offseason. Hopefully he's picked up a thing or two.
I will give you this for Con Knipple. If you asked me, of all the players in the NBA draft this year, whose game will most resemble their college game, I don't think his game changes at all. Like, I think his game playing against middle schoolers looks the same as it did playing against Duke, playing for Duke, looks the same as it will playing against the Lakers. He plays at his own pace. He doesn't speed up. So, even if you don't have the best view on Con Knipple's plays, just pretend you're watching him last year. I think it's going to look the exact same. Kalkbrenner, maybe not. His is a bit different. I think Sion James will have to find a different role to play. They listed him as a forward on draft night, which was weird because he was a point guard at Duke. But he does have the shoulders of a linebacker.
Somebody has to play defense on the Hornets roster because a lot of it's offensively focused this year so far, unless they make some more moves. So Sion James, come on down.
I'd be excited for Liam McNeely
down.
too. They're late first, the shooter from UConn.
Liam McNeely is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited to see all of them, but you just asked for top three, and that's what I'm looking for mostly. But again, I think it's going to be a strong summer league team, and McNeely gave a quote about how they're motivated, like they want to win the summer league championship. So I guess we'll see, but it's not that often you come into a Hornets season and you feel a lot of very positive feelings heading into it.
It's dangerous. Actually, no, go crazy. Say they're going to win the championship. I don't care.
They're going to win the championship.
There you go.
The Summer League championship.
Nah, don't put qualifiers. I bet you get good money on them winning the whole darn thing of the real championship.
It's like, if they're plus 100,000, that means if you bet $100, you lose $100.
Hey, there you go. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. They're those odds often, actually, almost every year. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have real, bold predictions. Not bold as saying the Hornets will win the NBA championship, but hopefully bold enough to keep you excited coming up next. But first, I want to tell you about a bold decision you can make in your fashion game. Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry, specifically the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location in Raleigh. You can be as bold as you want to be with your timepiece when you go to Fox and Bailey Watch Shop. And what I mean by that is you could grab the pre-owned or vintage Rolex, right? The icon, something with a colorway that everybody's going to notice. You walk into a room, everybody's going to go, who's got the Roly? You could also grab something like I have on, right? Something with a ton of, for those of you watching on YouTube, it's a G-Shock, but it's bright red, right? So you could show maybe some fandom, right? That is the top all the way to something rugged, versatile, and affordable, and both of them can make a bold statement that you're trying to make. Everything from something like Hamilton, right, with American roots, and you see him in a whole bunch of movies and TV shows, so you can check out and ask for ones that are in super famous sci-fi movies with super famous actors wearing them, and you can go from there when you're looking at the Hamiltons. You can be bold in whichever way you want to be, or keep it classy. Grab something like a Blancpain 50 Fathoms. Grab something like an Omega Seamaster. Something that's a little bit more understated, but it'll be if you know, you know. Watch guys, watch ladies out there will appreciate what you're working with. It's all at the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. Make sure they know you heard about it right here when you stop in. Say I heard about it from Tim on 99.9 The Fan, or visit them online. BaileyBox.com is where you find them. BaileyBox.com. Real bold predictions coming up next.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. We're in the offseason, but it doesn't mean me and my co-host, WREL TV's Chris Lee, take a break from our podcast, Panthers Playbook. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on Panthers news as training camp approaches, insights on the rookies, the free agents, and the surprises, plus all the insider info on the upcoming season. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts, or watch on YouTube.
Hey, Greater Triangle area, Chick-fil-A wants to invite you to enjoy 3-count Chick-fil-A chicken strips on us in the Chick-fil-A app. Join us this week, July 7th through 12th, 2025, to get your reward for a 3-count Chick-fil-A chicken strips by downloading or signing into your Chick-fil-A app. With location services on in the Greater Triangle area. Redeem when you order through the Chick-fil-A app at a participating Greater Triangle area Chick-fil-A restaurant from 10:30 a.m. to close. Offer subject to availability. Rewards are single-use only. Limit 1 per person per Chick-fil-A 1 account. See further details in the app.
Westwood One Sports presents this special tennis update. In a repeat of the French Open semifinals, world number one Jannik Sinner knocked out an injured Novak Djokovic in straight sets in the Wimbledon semis. The 38-year-old Djokovic would not discuss his injury or a possible swan song.
Hopefully it's not my last match on the center court. I'm not planning to finish my Wimbledon career today. So I'm planning to come back, definitely at least one more time.
Meanwhile, Sinner advances to his first Wimbledon final and will now face Carlos Alcaraz on Sunday in a rematch of that incredible 5-set French Open final. The two-time defending champ outlasted American Taylor Fritz in the first semi, saving 2 set points to finish it off in a 4th-set tiebreaker. His match-winning streak is now up to 24 in a row. With this tennis update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget, I'm only going to be able to remind you during the show. But all weekend long, if you haven't done so already, our text line will be open for you to text in the keyword and potentially win your weight in meat. The keyword is beef, B-E-E-F. Text it in to 919-860-5326 for your shot at becoming a finalist. Every weekday, all next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the weekdays. Every weekday, all next week, around 4 p.m., we will call one of you that have texted in beef to 919-860-5326. All you have to do is answer your phone, let us know how much you weigh. No judging. It's when you're weighing in meat. We need your weight. Tell us how much you weigh, and then you'll be one of 10 finalists to potentially win your weight in meat. Brought to you by the NC Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner. And also, as you make your way around town this weekend, you're hanging out, you're seeing your buddies, you're doing whatever. I mean, you know your bigger friends. You might want to let them know. You might want to tip them off. Hey, man, I've already submitted, but if you win, we'd get like an extra 75 pounds of meat. So text beef to 919-860-5326. It could be that simple. It could be that simple. You should get a cut of that, actually. It's like, hey, man, listen.
Like a referral bonus.
Like, just throw a couple steaks my way. I mean, that's all you're looking, right? Just, hey, at least invite me over for some burgers, right? So something. If you win, and I'm the one that told you about it, there's got to be some.
I'll even come grill up that ribeye for you.
Yeah, I'll do the legwork if you need to. Get the smoker fired up. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have a few minutes here before the top of the hour, so let's hit some real, bold predictions. All right, here we go. Not a ton of like actual events with local ties going on this weekend. So some of these are longer term predictions. We'll see if I can make them bold. How about this? Panthers, Derek Brown. In his return from injury this season, All-Pro. There's a lot of good defensive tackles out there.
Yeah, but I can't give you the bell on the first one.
You could. You're the bell in the buzzer.
But we already mentioned earlier, Derek Brown's like the best run-stuffing D tackle in the league already, obviously.
And that doesn't make him an All-Pro in the past. All right, so how about this? He's an All-Pro, and let me make sure this isn't absolutely ridiculous. And he doubles up his career best in sacks, which might be necessary for him to be an All-Pro. So I might have just made the same prediction kind of twice.
Well, according to that article, I mean, Tershawn Wharton apparently isn't going to be doing much for him. So
his career best is 3. So if he gets 6 sacks and he continues to be the run stuffer that he was pre-injury, I do believe that would be an All-Pro season. So I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with the prediction. Next, speaking of doubling up, NC State wide receiver Noah Rogers doubles all his main receiving stats from last year. He was a former 5-star recruit, went to Ohio State. After his freshman year, transferred to State. There was a more crowded wide receiver room last year. Concepcion no longer there. But also, Justin Jolie is making a lot of preseason lists. All ACC, some All-American lists, tight end for NC State. I think him working the middle of the field is really going to open things up for some of the guys on the perimeter. And Rodgers is set to be one of those dudes. Last year, he had 35 receptions, 478 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, I did not realize he only had the lone touchdown last year. But I think that speaks a lot to how likely he is maybe to do it because, I mean, I figured he had more. I figured he had a bigger impact. So
it would be a huge step up to go 70 catches, essentially 1,000 yards. And, I mean, 70 catches and 1,000 yards, you're going to have more than 1 touchdown. 2 would work. But he'll probably, I mean, if that happens, probably 5, 6 at least. That's a really good step up for a player like Noah Rogers.
He's definitely going to be their main outside threat.
As he should be.
At the start.
Yeah, and they've got other talent, don't get me wrong. Next one. Keandre Miller puts up 10 more points than Dmitry Orlov this year. Orlov had 28 points last year. Miller had 27. So there's an 11-point swing there. I'll go 15 more points. Orlov's going to be on San Jose, where there's a lot of opportunity there for him to put up points. Probably be on power play. 20 more points? So Miller essentially has to put up like 40. Because I don't see Orlov in any kind of regular role having less than...
Which he's done before. You know, Keandre Miller...
He has done it once.
43 in his career.
Handful of years ago. 3 years ago.
But, you know, he might be... I mean, who knows what kind of deployment he's going to get. This has been a hot topic of conversation since the trade was made. But it's going to be top 4 no matter where he is. So, I mean, he'll have decent opportunity. Maybe some power play looks. Who knows?
Who's he going to be skating with is an interesting question.
That's the big question, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Chatfield. Who's going to be skating offhanded is also a question. So, yeah, he's got to be like... For him to have 20 more points than Orlov, he pretty much has to double up Orlov. All right. Since you're a golf guy, I'll give you this one. Rory McIlroy wins the Open Championship. No one will see it coming.
That's plenty bold enough. His last couple months have left some to be desired.
Obviously, he's still like physically talented enough to win. His brain is just jumbled right now. And I'm thinking maybe getting to that side of the pond, playing in his own backyard, can soothe some of whatever wires are crossed between the ears for him. And, I mean, I still think Rory is one of a handful of guys that, like, if he shows up with his A game, it's just a dub. Like, if he plays great Rory golf, it's a rap ski. So,
and he'll certainly be hammering some like 400-yard drives that just run out forever on those links. So it's gonna be good to watch, and that's always great too, because when it's overseas, you wake up and they're already like the best players are already out on the weekend, so you don't have to wait around. Perfect.
Are you a set an alarm guy on Thursday, Friday? I've got some buddies that get up at like 4 a.m. to watch the Open.
It depends. Like the Open Championship, like I'm probably not getting up at 4 a.m., but like Masters, U.S. Open, like I'm probably getting up at 7 or 8 to see all the action that's going on. Back when I was working like a desk job, like I might go in early that day and pull it up on the monitor to get a little work done.
It's Friday. I can brag a little. One of the best parts of this job is you don't have to hide it.
Yeah,
you know, everybody else has like the screen minimized when the boss walks by because you got the golf on, or it's March Madness Thursday. For us, it's like, no, turn the volume up. I need to watch that.
We're watching actually I don't know if we have the same ESPN on in the studio in the control. I have the Hawks Heat Summer League game on in here, so
do I. Can't say I'm paying too much attention to
No,
it.
me neither. But if it was a good game, like if it was the Hornets, I'd definitely keep my eye on it.
Yeah, 25-23 for those of you testing summer league scores. That's it. We don't have time for any more. I had more, but we'll move on. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, has to move on because we have the starting 5 at 5 coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Move your sports day forward.
You've been to the restaurant with the good food but the terrible service and atmosphere? That's the WNBA right now. Good basketball and the rest is a mess. The expansion franchises, junk, players criticizing officials, getting into fights, no suspensions. Commissioner Kathy Engelhardt has lost the locker room. She needs to go.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or 2 bird dog combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. We are heading into a drier trend for the next 3 days. Starting Monday, rain chances leap back up. It's just a 20% chance for an isolated storm this evening, 74. 30% chance for a storm tomorrow, 95.
Weather report brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money at the closing bell. Dow Jones down 279 points to 44,371.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I said this earlier, but after a plea at the beginning to help us get over the hump, we did pass 18,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel today. 18,000. I am a goal-oriented person on stuff like that, but I like the big round numbers a little bit better. So 18,000, we're going to be appreciative. Thank you. It is something that we don't take for granted. But 20,000 is what I really want. I mean, once you get to 18, 20,000 is right there. So please continue to pass it along to your friends. And actually, really all I'm asking for is the chance to entertain you, right? Go subscribe to 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. And if you like the content, if we cover the teams that you are interested in hearing about in a entertaining and informative way, we're talking mostly the local teams, obviously, then pass it along to your friends who you think might also enjoy it, right? Don't pass it along if you don't like it. I'm just betting on us, betting on 99.9 The Fan. So please check us out on YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. We are hopefully on our way to 20,000 subscribers very shortly. And we'll do something for 20,000. We gave away some memorabilia, some autograph stuff for 10,000, which really wasn't that long ago. And as the arrow keeps pointing up, I'm sure we'll do something for 20,000 as well. Make it happen. Thank you. Now the starting five at 5, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Both of those moves hard for another big to keep him in front.
And here's Flagg on the break, punching it home. Welcome to the league, Cooper Flagg.
Cooper Flagg debuted in the Summer League for the NBA last night. You just heard his, I believe that was his first bucket. Pretty good. I actually think he jumped a little early. I think he was really excited and thought he was like Michael Jordan in Space Jam. He didn't. It wasn't the traditional fast break dunk we got really used to seeing at Duke. It was just a tad bit awkward, which I do think plays into kind of his entire performance yesterday. For the first time in the meaty part of a game, like the bulk of a game, he seemed a little tight, little tense. The only time we had seen that in his college career at Duke really was a few times in the closing moments of games when, intensity gets ratcheted up even further. There really had been no 5 minutes before halftime situations where he looked like he was pressing, but he did a little bit yesterday. And guess what? Sky is blue, right? Like he is an 18-year-old that was the number 1 pick, and he looked nervous. I'm not worried about anything. He pressed. Like I said, he wanted to you could tell he wanted to have a moment. He wanted to score 30, put up 21 shots, made 5 of them, went 0 for 5 from 3, didn't score in the second half. Do I think that's going to happen a lot in his NBA career? I do not. But I think he just was a little bit too aggressive yesterday, when usually part of his game, and I think it will be part of his game once he settles in, is about letting the game come to him and setting up his teammates, and then once you don't pay all the attention to him, he strikes. Here's Cooper Flagg on court post-game of his Summer League debut.
I don't need to tell you that this is one of the most highly anticipated Summer League debuts we've seen in quite some time. How would you describe your play tonight, Cooper?
Not up to my standard. I'm going to regroup. I'm going to be all right. It's a new feeling, new environment, new teammates. But the guys held it down. Miles, Ryan, they were amazing tonight. Max, they were great tonight. So, they had my back. I didn't have my best game. But I'm going to just keep going forward.
How would you say this kind of game compares to the college game?
It's just a different game, different pace, different feel, different spacing. It's a lot of adjustments, but we'll be all right.
They'll be all right. Do you know what? This is a side note, and I can tell you because I've done it. What's my favorite part about Cooper Flagg right now? He's rocking the I just started to be able to grow facial hair goatee. I had the same thing in one of my roster pictures in college. Just the chin hair. Right? You can't really, the mustache isn't there. It definitely doesn't connect mustache to goatee. Just the chin hair. That's that, hey, look at this. That's the move. There was some back and forth between him and Bronny James. Bronny actually got him a few times. Bronny got him defensively a few times, got him with a step back.
Yeah, Bronny hit that. He had that mean three-pointer over him.
Maybe Bronny's turning into something.
He had a bouncy dunk in that first little Summer League series, too.
Maybe Bronny's turning into something. All those people that thought he was a ridiculous 55th overall pick might have to eat their words a little bit. Maybe not. Who knows? That's number 5. Let's hit number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
He'll hand it off for Natchez. Natchez heads up. Back to Orlov. Tees it up. He scores! A 1-2 punch from Dmitry Orlov today.
What the heck, Dmitry Orlov? Listen. Did the 2 years where Dmitry Orlov was a Carolina Hurricane go the way everybody hoped they would go when he signed with the Hurricanes 2 offseasons ago? No. I would say they did not. Right? They probably started with cup aspirations, and he was going to go on some upward trajectory and be unbelievable, and it didn't happen that way. There were some turnovers, some getting caught out of positions, and it just didn't happen the way everybody thought it would. But I will tell you this: at no point in time did it feel like Orlov was not fitting in, or did like he wasn't embraced, and also it never felt like he did any of the things that I believe would lead to you not being embraced. Right? The effort was there. I never felt like he was mailing it in. And it's you ever see two people break up in like a relationship and they legit stay friends, and you're just like, oh wow, that must have been a really healthy breakup and a really healthy, like they're still bowling in the same bowling league. I kind of felt like that's what this Orlov departure was. He got paid good money from San Jose, $6.5 million per year, right? And it felt like he was still friendly with so many of the Canes. I thought this was going to be one of those situations where it was like, yeah, you know what? I thought it would go differently. They thought it would go differently. It didn't work out, but I made $15+ million over 2 years, and we gave it our all, and we didn't. Like I thought they were still going to be able to bowl. Apparently, that's not the case, because in Orlov's introductory statements and comments and presser for the San Jose Sharks, his new team, I would say some thinly veiled shade thrown back towards Carolina. Here's Orlov.
Not 3 years, 2 years, I said, when I signed in Raleigh, kind of, you expect one thing, when you not showing up, you can play, or coaches not believe in you, and it's kind of always the battle, and then everybody have own story and own career. So I learned on my way, and I just need to be more focused as a older guy, more experienced. I expect one thing, but you need to just focus on day by day, basically, and you cannot look too far. It's what I done it, and I think it was a mistake. So right now, it's a new chapter, new fresh start for me with a new team, and young team too. So it's gonna be new experience for me, and I will learn a lot too from that.
Did I hear some they didn't believe in me's in there?
Yeah, it's like, you come in and this and that, and coaches don't believe in you, or it's interesting.
20 minutes per game on the ice. I mean, that's not nothing, right? If you look at some of the years you were up there in Washington, you weren't playing that same time on ice. Some you played more, but some you weren't playing that. 19:59 to be exact, average time on ice this past year. The other thing that immediately stood out to me was in the postseason. Do you remember Nikishin? He got in the game, and then he wasn't in the game. And then there was talks about what if Chatfield came back, which he didn't end up doing, but where would you put people, and would you keep Nikishin? And I was darn near protective of Orlov, going like, I mean, you can't even hint publicly if you're Rod Brindamore about a left-handed Russian defenseman being replaced with a left-handed Russian defenseman, because Orlov he's done it, right? He's worked hard. He's done all those things. Even if I thought Nikishin should have taken that spot, Orlov is a healthy scratch, doesn't feel right. I should have been, forget it. Who cares what he has to say? Put him on the bench. I thought he was all in for the squad, and I was trying to be nice. Now I'm learning he's sitting there going, well, they didn't believe in me. If he already thought they didn't believe in him, you should have treated like he didn't believe in him. Not keep playing him in postseason games after he contributed to 3 goals being given up in a crucial one. I also don't get this. I'm going to let everybody in on a little thing. You ever be like, there's very few opportunities in life where trashing a former employer accomplishes anything. I just don't understand. By the way, vent to your family and friends. I'm not talking about in private, right? You have a boss you don't like. You have a coworker you don't like. There's a policy at work you don't like. You keep putting in for PTO around the holidays and you keep getting declined. Yeah, get your significant other on the phone. Call up your brother or sister and let them have it. Publicly or to people outside your inner circle, it never makes sense to me. What do you have to gain? Right? Maybe Rod Brindamore's best friend gets a coaching job somewhere else that thinks about hiring you next year. Thinks about trading for you. A contender might want to trade for you at one point in time. And then that, oh, no. Rod's a good dude, and he trashed him on the way out. He's not for us. You know, it's the same thing as like if on a first date, someone's just trashing all their exes are crazy, and it's like, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. First press conference. It'd be one thing if he goes and has a great season with San Jose, and then he's like, yeah, you know, the things in Raleigh never worked out. I never felt like. It'd be one thing. To do it in your first press conference, I think we got to have beef now. I think it's on site, Orlov. I guess it's got to be like Miller or Nikishin. On site next time. Buckle up your chin strap.
Big boys.
Here we go. I don't know if that's actually the case, but it seems like it would be to me. I don't know all the unwritten rules in hockey world, but it seems like that's warranted. What number was that? 4? 4. Let's hit number 3. All right, everybody. We got a story time coming up here. There are a few stories I have that I tell too often, and this is one of them, but I just enjoy telling it, and I look for reasons to tell it. So when I saw Darren Ravel, who covers the business side of sports, bring up a hypothetical for former NC State players. In 2014, NC State played UCF in the Bitcoin Bowl, sponsored by BitPay. And Darren Ravel tweeted this out. If players in the 2014 BitPay-sponsored Bitcoin Bowl got their $550 in allowed bowl gifts in Bitcoin on the day of the game, and they didn't touch it, they would each have $200,000 worth of Bitcoin today. That $550 in 2015 or 2014 of Bitcoin would each now have $200,000. I do know somebody that was on the NC State football team in 2014, so I texted him and said, like, was this actually a thing? Could you have taken it in Bitcoin? His response was, and he was on the team, no one actually knows or remembers because no one really knew what Bitcoin was at the time. Some people think they gave us each a Bitcoin, but none of us have it. It was like some weird thing. I had to go online and redeem it for money, or it was like worth an amount of dollars at the time. So they don't even know.
Sounds like that's kind of how Bitcoin is now still. It's definitely kind of shrouded in mystery of how you get it for people who are not like super familiar with it.
Now I get to go into story time. 4 years, 3.5 years before that bowl game, I was in college playing college football. Bitcoin was brand new. And as I say often on this show, I dabble in gambling, sports gambling. At the time, it was not legal. And I would never, ever gamble on anything I was involved in or any sport I was involved in. But middle of summer baseball games, college basketball, I was thinking about it, right? I had friends that weren't on the team that did it, and there were some offshore accounts that you could make an account on. But I also knew I would lose my eligibility, and I knew I'd get in trouble. So I tried to make an account, and they wanted a credit card. And I immediately went, oh, no, sir. I'm not putting my name attached to any of this. But this account whatever it was, this offshore, and I won't say the name because I don't want to implicate anybody. They said you can either put it in with a debit or credit card or with Bitcoin, which was brand new at the time. So I was like, oh, what's this Bitcoin thing? Looked into it and was like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. This was the plan. I swear to you. And there would be a way to prove this. The plan was to buy $200 in Bitcoin, put $100 into this gambling account, and keep $100 as a funny college talking point. Like, I actually got $100 of that stuff that people are buying pizza with. Because you remember that guy that bought pizza with what ended up being like $50 billion worth of Bitcoin?
But sorry, what year was this?
This would have been between all I know is it was between the 2010 and 2011 football seasons. And I could tell you exactly later. You'll hear why. So I tried. I went to, I forget what the site was, Floppy Wallet or something like that. It was one of the super early places you could buy Bitcoin. And I made an account and I tried to go in and buy Bitcoin. And I put in the debit card and fill out the whole form. And the last thing they wanted, and I still to this day don't know why they wanted it, they wanted my social security number. And for whatever reason, obviously, I went, I don't trust any of this, right? I don't know what Bitcoin is. I don't know what this wallet site is. Why would I give, this feels like I'm going to give them my social security number, and then tomorrow I'm going to wake up and all my accounts are drained. So I punted on it, and I went, you know what? It's probably not even worth sports gambling. Let me, I just exited out, right? And then completely forget about it. 10 years later, maybe more, I'm in Nebraska. So it wasn't quite 10 years. I'm in Nebraska working, and I see Bitcoin has jumped to tens of thousands of dollars or whatever it was. And I went, do you think there's a chance that $200 went through? Do you think there's a chance that I hit submit? And I ran through and I found it was to my college email, my udel.edu email. I found the confirmation for me making the account, and I was like, and I kept searching, and it did not go through. But at the time that I first discovered this, the $100 that I planned on just keeping as Bitcoin as a conversation piece, I probably wouldn't have kept it the whole time, but if I did, was rudimentary math, like 84 million. Which means if the 200 would have went through, accidentally somehow, and it was just sitting in an account somewhere, would have been, $168 million that I would have had in Bitcoin. But, lastly, I do not. So, the moral of the story is, if you have the opportunity to give your social security number online to a seemingly sketchy currency, you might regret it a whole bunch about 10 years after that.
Give out your social security number online. That's the moral of the story.
Not actually, right? Joking here, everybody. If I would have had an accidental $164 million, I don't know where I'd be. Probably would have flipped it a few times by now. I might own the Carolina Panthers. Maybe not. But either way, that is a 100% true story about how I almost made a very good financial decision. Instead, got scared and ran away. That's number 3. Let's hit number 2.
Just the two of us. Bailey, shotgun, snap left hashes, QB keeper, dives forward, touchdown. Bailey is third of the night.
CJ Bailey, quarterback, NC State. Disrespect. Oh, it's active. It's active. The disrespect for CJ Bailey. And actually, I wonder if. So let me take a step back. CJ Bailey, the quarterback for NC State, according to the USA Today, which ranked all of the quarterbacks in the ACC, 17 of them, CJ Bailey is the 15th best going into this year. Ranked above him, I'll just give a smattering of the quarterbacks that he could not overcome. Number 14 is Ricky Collins of Syracuse, who has 7 career pass attempts. We'll go with number 11 is the combination of Deshaun Purdy and Robbie Ashford at Wake Forest. They haven't even named a starter, but whoever it ends up is the, according to them, 11th best in the ACC. Deshaun Purdy had a 136 passer rating in the group of 5 at Charlotte. CJ Bailey in the Power 5 at NC State, being thrown into the starting lineup due to injury and starting most of the season, had 144 as a passer rating. So he was better than Purdy against higher competition, yet he is 4 slots below potentially Purdy on this list. There's a lot of disrespect. Chandler Morris had a worse passer rating at North Texas last year, and he was in his 5th year of college football at North Texas last year with a 140 passer rating. CJ Bailey was a true freshman with 144 in the Power 5. Chandler Morris, who transferred to UVA from North Texas, is the 6th highest rated on that ranking, and as, again, Bailey's 15th. That's the disrespect, right? I wonder if this isn't a bit intentional. And I'm not saying like they wanted to be ranked low, but I've said this 4 or 5 times this offseason. You can go find the receipts. Seems like State is intentionally laying low. It seems like State is intentionally not asking for spotlight, right? They didn't let anyone watch their spring game. They haven't made the splashy signings like they did the year before, bringing in Grayson McCall and Hollywood Smothers and Noah Rogers and Zeke Correll from Notre Dame. They did all of this. All of it. And because of that, right, it is very much a out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. I wouldn't be surprised if everyone on NC State is underrepresented on a lot of these rankings because you just haven't heard much of them. And it could be like what did Teddy Roosevelt say? Speak softly and carry a big stick. Like it might be a situation where they're intentionally like, nah, let them sleep on us. CJ Bailey, they got you ranked 15th in the ACC. Let them sleep on us, right? Let defensive secondaries that we play against go, oh, this guy, he's a 3rd worst passer in the ACC. And then go out and dice them. Like it feels very much like they are aware, or at least they believe they got something special for you, and they're just laying in the weeds waiting for you to walk by.
Who are the 2 quarterbacks that were listed below him?
It was Cal and Stanford, I believe. And I think they were both Oars. Cal Mendoza, who was Cal's quarterback last year, transferred to Indiana. He's on some first round mocks, so they've got some replacing to do. And Stanford is kind of a mess. By the way, I'm not advocating for CJ Bailey to be like top 5. Like, you know, you want to put Klubnik up there, you want to put Jennings, Haynes King, like some of these other guys. Cool. Carson Beck, I'm maybe on, but you can put him up there, right? Pretty good at Georgia and moving to Miami. Like there's some other guys. I think there's some arguments to be made for everybody outside like the top 6. Not saying he should be 7, but I think you could argue for a lot of those guys. What number was that? 4? 2? It was the 4th one. Number 2. Let's get to number 5.
Or number 1.
Yeah, I know. Let's get to number 1. There you go.
The worst.
That was weird math that didn't really make sense, but it's a Friday. The NIL new rules being implemented across college football and college sports in general are ridiculous. The third-party system that has to approve endorsements is, I'm gonna be polite. I'm gonna say they are a mess, and I could be much more mean. So if you have a endorsement that is worth more than $600, your school has to submit it to something called NIL Go, and they will approve essentially the contract. And there are requirements such as it can't be coming from an organization that has been designed with the intention of paying players or marketing players, which meaning collectives can't be the ones paying it. There has to be a legitimate business, essentially meaning there has to be a motivation to sell goods and services that really aren't related to just the agreement. For example, and this is all in the things that have been distributed to the NCAA teams. For example, you cannot pay a player to be at an event thrown by a collective, even if you charge admission to that event. So, again, if a collective wanted to throw say a golf event, they're going to get together, they're going to shotgun start, they're going to have 12 foursomes and one player from the basketball team is going to play in each foursome. And they plan on, I'm making this up on the spot. They plan on paying each of the players $1,000 to play this round of golf. And they plan on charging the other 3 guys or 3 ladies in the foursome $1,000 to play with the player. Now, the business is pay one player per foursome $1,000, collect $3,000, make $2,000, right? And say you got to pay $500 for the tee times. All right, make $1,500. That's good business to me. That sounds like a business, right? That whoever paid the players just made 12 times $1,500 in one afternoon. That's not allowed by the NCAA tournament. Why? Or sorry, by the NCAA, NIL Go, whatever. Why is that not allowed? I will never understand. I will never understand. Makes no sense. And by the way, even if it's not that cut and dry, makes sense business-wise. If there's a business out there that wants to give $100,000 to a player for whatever reason they choose, why are we to say they're not allowed? I'll even go this far. Say there's a restaurant. Actually, say there's just a random business owner. I don't care what business they're in. And they just think when people are in good moods, business is better. And people are in good moods when the local team is winning a bunch. So I'm going to pay $200,000 for a point guard because I think that when the people come to the area more and they're more happy, and that's good for business. The NCAA is looking at that business owner saying that's not a legit business reason. Business owners get to make decisions what their business spends money on. And my last point, and I'm going to ask this until somebody gives me an answer. What's wrong with players getting money? What makes what makes the NCAA experience so much worse that players have nicer cars or players have nicer apartments or players just have more money in their bank account? Players can afford nicer food. Players can afford whatever they want to spend it on. How does that make NCAA worse? How? Somebody gives me a good answer for that, I'll entertain it. But I've been asking for years, and I have not gotten anything. Other than it's just not how it used to be. That's not an actual reason. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have a numbers game coming up. It is your last chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to Monster Jam at the Lenovo Center on July 26th. But to win the tickets, you got to win the numbers game. The numbers game is for 2 contestants. And to be one of those 2 contestants, call in now. 919-860-5326. That number to call, 919-860-5326 for your chance to play the numbers game. Again, on the line, a 4-pack of tickets to Monster Jam at the Lenovo Center with awesome trucks, amazing stunts, action-packed excitement, and big air. Monster Jam is the definition of fun for everyone. Numbers game next.
Dennis Cox here from my good friends over at Law Tigers. As a motorcycle rider, it is important to make sure that your insurance is up to date. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident and the person that hits you is either underinsured or uninsured, well, that's where your insurance policy picks up the bill after that point. So make sure that your insurance is maxed out in case you are injured in a motorcycle accident, in case you got to go to the emergency room, in case you got to receive medical care. This is where Law Tigers can help you after that point. But your insurance has to be up to date. So make sure before you get back out there on the road, check your insurance, make sure everything is up to snuff. But if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, again, call Law Tigers at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Again, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS is the number to call. They're part of the motorcycle riding community. They know what you're going through after an accident. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I know the hurricane season came to an end. Another year with a loss to Florida in the Eastern Conference Finals, 2 of the last 3. But it's been a great year, and it's going to be a great summer with all that cap room the Hurricanes have. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, from free agency agency to trades to the draft. We'll have player interviews, special sit-down with Rod Brindamore that he doesn't even know about yet. He'll do it, don't worry. Just stay tuned to the Canes Corner podcast on YouTube, search Canes Corner, and wherever you get your podcasts.
That'll be 30 even.
That's 90 points! Sorry, that was a lot. Now that I'm getting 3 times the points on food and fuel with the Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card, I get a little too hyped sometimes.
Cool. Would you like your receipt?
In the bag! Sorry, in the bag, please.
Learn more about the everyday, everywhere Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Westwood One Sports presents this special tennis update, sponsored by Kohl's. Make the most of summer with stylish looks from Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. Number 1 Jannik Sinner against number 2 Carlos Alcaraz. That'll be the matchup in Sunday's Wimbledon final after last month's unforgettable French Open final, with Alcaraz rallying from 2 sets down to win. Sinner discussed the rematch on center court after a straight-set win over a banged-up Novak Djokovic in the semifinals.
Hopefully it's going to be a good match like the last one. I don't know if it's get better because I don't think it's possible, but we will try to do obviously our best, and hopefully it's going to be an enjoyable match for us to play, but also for you guys to enjoy.
It'll be Sinner's first Wimbledon final, while Alcaraz will go for the three-peat after a 4-set win over American Taylor Fritz. With this tennis update, Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
This summer with Kohl's, you can rack up the compliments. Like, where'd you get that dress? Tell me all your makeup secrets. Or, ooh, my husband needs that polo in every color. Because Kohl's has what you need. Cute dresses, Sephora essentials, stylish polos, comfy kids clothes, and more. Plus, take 20% off some of your faves. Yep, cue the compliments with Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 20th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, faucets, vanities, doors, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through July 18th. Not a member? Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. The prize for today, Monster Jam tickets. Monster Jam coming to the Lenovo Center July 26th. Should be a fun one. The contestants for today, Graham in Durham and Connor in Raleigh. And as always, we will ask both contestants the same question, and our producer for today, it is Max, will be the judge. They will pick, Max will pick his favorite answer, and that person will get to go first. All right. We'll start with Graham. Graham in Durham, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right. The question, as it is on most Fridays, is what are you looking forward to most about the weekend? But because we are a sports show, keep it sports related. So something sports about this upcoming weekend that you are most looking forward to.
Maybe getting outside and playing around the disc golf.
Oh, disc golf. Are you into it? Is that your thing?
My thing. I'm not good at it, but it's my thing.
All right. I like it. So it's just like real golf.
Exactly.
All right, cool. All right. There you go. Locked it in with Graham. Let's go to Connor in Raleigh. Connor, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Same question to you. What are you looking forward to most about this weekend? But because we are a sports show, keep it sports related.
New NCAA game just came out, so I'll probably take NC State to the national championship.
All right, I'll give you this one. This is me repping for my my alma mater. It's been challenged online that by the University of Delaware football program that if you take Delaware and win a national championship, and you got to like take a picture of Delaware holding the trophy or something like that, and you submit it, you just might win an awesome game day experience. Get on the field pregame, get a bunch of gear. So you know, other than NC State, if you want to go do it for the Blue Hens, we could show you some real Conference USA football if you're interested. You're not supposed to laugh at that. You're supposed to take that seriously. No, I'm kidding. Pick your favorite team. Have some fun with it. Connor with the video game. Graham with the disc golf. Max, which one are you picking?
I'll go with Connor. He has the confidence that he'll be taking home that championship. It's harder than it sounds, especially if you play like a connected dynasty like I did with my friends when the game came back last year. And we played probably 4 or 5 seasons. I never came. I don't even think I came close to making the playoffs. So
you were all like teams in the same conference or something like that?
I think it started, we were in different conferences, and then you can change them around and make custom conferences. So we ended up in the same one, but I was just horrible, so I never had any chance.
I was never in my friend group anywhere near the best at any video game, which stinks because you get around, it's like you jump on the sticks, you play for 2 seconds, you lose, and then you go to the back of the line, and you got to wait like 8 more games to play. Meanwhile, the good kids just stay on the sticks forever. Connor was the winner. All right, Connor gets to go first. Graham, don't worry, you'll have your chance. You just have to wait a little bit there, sit on hold. Connor, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes, sir.
All right, the categories are NFL players born in mid-July, NFL players that are seconds, juniors, or thirds. So their name includes, obviously, seconds, juniors, or thirds. NBA players with at least 450 double-doubles in their career is a category, and the final category is NHL Hurricanes only.
Let's go with mid-July birthdays.
All right. NFL players born in mid-July. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. You have 1 pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Darrelle Revis, New York Jets.
24.
Correct. Mason Rudolph, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pass.
LaShawn McCoy, Philadelphia Eagles.
25.
Correct. Trent Williams, San Francisco 49ers.
71.
Correct. Sammy Winder, Denver Broncos.
11.
Incorrect. Mason Rudolph, Pittsburgh Steelers.
2.
Correct. Sammy Winder, Denver Broncos.
81.
Incorrect. Sammy Winder, Denver Broncos. You got 4 out of 5. That was strong. Sammy Winder, I have to admit, it's a tough pull. We were looking for 23 for Winder, if those of you out there playing at home. But 4 out of 5, like I said, it's a solid number. Stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up. That brings us to Graham and Durham. Graham, are you there?
I am.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players that are either seconds, juniors, or thirds in their name, that kind of deal. NBA players that have at least 450 career double-doubles, or NHL Hurricanes only.
The NFL players, second, juniors, and thirds.
All right. I will give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. 1 pass if you need it. You do need all 5 for the win, but you have the entire clock to do so. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Marvin Harrison Jr., Arizona Cardinals.
18.
Correct. Robert Griffin III, Baltimore Ravens.
10.
Incorrect. Patrick Surtain II, Denver Broncos.
26.
Incorrect. Robert Griffin III, Baltimore Ravens.
3.
Correct. Odell Beckham Jr., Miami Dolphins.
18.
Incorrect. Patrick Surtain II, Denver Broncos.
20.
Incorrect. Odell Beckham Jr., Miami Dolphins.
3.
Correct. Asante Samuel Jr., Los Angeles Chargers.
22.
Incorrect. Patrick Surtain II, Denver Broncos.
24.
Incorrect. Asante Samuel Jr. I respect you kind of jumping in there and not – because when you have the seconds and the thirds, the names just get long. As soon as you know what they are, might as well make your guess. You got Marvin Harrison Jr., 18. Robert Griffin III with the Ravens, 3. I kind of – the third, 3. There you go. Patrick Surtain II, you were all over the map with it. We were looking for number 2. Odell Beckham Jr., you got it with 3. Asante Samuel Jr. with the Chargers, 26. That's what we were looking for. He's still a free agent, by the way. I think he might fit with the Panthers if he's healthy. Unfortunately, you came up 1 short of the win, but you gave it a good try. Hopefully you had some fun.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right, there you go. That means Connor in Raleigh is the winner. Connor, congratulations.
Thank you. And thank you.
All right. And hopefully that winning will continue over into your dynasty in college football 26. So good luck there, and stay on the line so Max can get the info he needs to make sure you get your Monster Jam tickets.
I will. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That is the numbers game. We'll do it again at about the same time on Monday. New prize, though. The Monster Jam tickets will likely be done. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Mainer Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. They do it all, right? This is one of those things that you take for granted, right? You take for granted that when you walk in on a hot day, your house is going to be cool. You take for granted that when you flush your toilet, it's going to do what it should do when it flushes, or that when you flip your switch, the electric's going to work. You take it for granted until something happens. And then all of a sudden, it's all hands on deck. It's running around. It's chaos. It's calling your friend of a friend of a friend that might be able to work on it, when in actuality, all you need is one number: Mainer Service Company. They can do it all. They are a part of your community, which I emphasize. They are highly trained, and they stay up to date on everything. It is crazy. I was walking around with the owner of Mainer Service Company, Brett, through their training facility, and you see something like a hot water heater, and they have it like sliced in half so you can see what's inside. It looks like a computer. Like the amount of wires and boards and all of the switches, and I don't even know because I'm not a technician. It looks like a computer, right? So I can tell you this: Mainer Service Company makes sure their technicians are up to date on the technology of decades ago that might still be working and doing a good job in your house, all the way up to the brand new stuff that looks like it's from Star Trek. They stay up on all of it. So when those chaotic moments happen, something that you take for granted stops working, they can roll in like superheroes and get it done, get it fixed, get it back up and working. The number to call is 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or you can visit them online, MainerServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. We'll be back in just a minute to make our picks and round out the week. Stick around.
Evan Canty and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
He's got Derrick Henry. He's got other weapons. Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. The defense took a big step up last year, and now you add Jair Alexander. You have a head coach who's won a Super Bowl. If it's not Lamar Jackson, I don't know who has more pressure on him heading into this season.
Unsportsmanlike. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, Greater Triangle area, Chick-fil-A wants to invite you to enjoy 3-count Chick-fil-A chicken strips on us in the Chick-fil-A app. Join us this week, July 7th through 12th, 2025, to get your reward for a 3-count Chick-fil-A chicken strips by downloading or signing into your Chick-fil-A app. With location services on in the Greater Triangle area. Redeem when you order through the Chick-fil-A app at a participating Greater Triangle area Chick-fil-A restaurant from 10:30 a.m. to close. Offer subject to availability. Rewards are single-use only. Limit 1 per person per Chick-fil-A 1 account. See further details in the app.
And we're back talking all things connectivity with Spectrum customers Kev and Melissa. So tell us, how long have you been with Spectrum, and how important is a reliable internet connection?
We've been Spectrum customers since we moved 12 years ago. The first thing we did is sign up for Spectrum Internet.
You get a lease, you get Wi-Fi.
Yes,
immediately.
We need that. We had Spectrum Wi-Fi before our couch got here.
That's true. That's a true story.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
You heard it here. Switch to Spectrum now.
What sounds like a fun weekend?
Hey, let's hit the beach.
What does not sound like a fun weekend?
I know it's hot out, but we need to restain the deck. Put on your long sleeves and mosquito spray. I'm going to grab all the stuff.
Preserve your weekend, your home, and investment, and call Preserve Services instead. Our Preserve team excels in interior and exterior painting and home repairs. We're your one-stop shop in the Triangle for jobs you need done, but don't want to tackle. And get this, you don't pay a penny until the job's done. Schedule today at PreserveServices.com.
Fill your tank. Don't drain your wallet. Sam's Club lets you save time at the pump with Scan and Go checkout at Sam's Club fuel stations. Just scan the QR code on the pump and pay. Visit your local Sam's Club today.
At Bailey's, love not only sparkles, but it also gives back. Hi, I'm Marcy Bailey. Yes, we have high-quality certified diamonds that fit your budget. But did you know that when you say I do with an engagement ring from Bailey's, a donation is made to the food bank to help feed a local family of 4 for an entire month? Celebrate your love with Bailey's, where every diamond helps create a brighter future. Bailey's Fine Jewelry, voted the best place to buy your diamond.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Nearing the end of the show, which means I'm running out of opportunities to remind you to text in beef. What if I just said that and just kept rolling? Just text in beef. Didn't explain why, didn't tell you where to text it, just do it. Now I'll give you more details. Win Your Weight in Meat is back. We've been qualifying one a day for our 10 finalists in our Win Your Weight in Meat competition all week. So we're halfway there. We have 5 finalists. We need 5 more. So next week, during the week, weekdays, every day at 4, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 4, we will randomly select somebody that has texted the keyword beef to our text line, which you can do right now, or you can do anytime before Monday at 4 o'clock to be in that running. 919-860-5326 is the number, 919-860-5326. Text the keyword beef, and you'll be in the mix. If you've already done so for any of the drawings this week, you're good. It rolls over, so you're in the pool of possible selections for the rest of the run here. But if you haven't done so yet, there's still 5 chances for you to be a finalist. So we have the 5 finalists already. We'll get 5 new ones next week. Those will make our 10 official finalists. On Monday, July 21st, we will randomly select one of those 10 finalists, and they will be selected to win their weight in meat. Brought to you by the NC Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner. We had a caller on yesterday's show, 297 pounds. That's a nice prize right there. It's one of those places where, I've been meaning to cut a couple pounds. Then this event happens, and it's like, I'm really glad I didn't cut a couple pounds. Heck, maybe have a cheat weekend, and then on Monday, call in, your weight will be a little up there. It's not the end of the world. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Again, one more reminder, text beef to 919-860-5326 to be in the running for our Win Your Weight in Meat competition. Now we will round out the week as we always do, making our picks, sending into the weekend the right way. Max, take it away. What are we picking here today?
I'll start with a little bit of boxing here.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we've got it's Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano are having their trilogy fight, their third fight here.
Okay.
It's on Netflix tonight, I believe. Let me double check. I believe it's at Madison Square Garden as well. Not sure on that, but we'll get back to that. Katie Taylor has won both of their previous matchups. She won the first one via split decision. In the second fight, she won unanimously 95-94 on all 3 scorecards. So one more chance for Amanda Serrano against Katie Taylor tonight. Who are you backing, Taylor or Serrano?
This is interesting. By the way, just put biases on Front Street, especially when we start talking picks and gambling and everything. I like to make sure you know which ones I feel confident in, which sports I feel confident in, which ones I don't. Combat sports, not my thing. I do encourage you to follow Victoria Vodenecker, who produces the Adam Gold Show.
Yeah, she knows
prior
all
to this
sorts
one.
of MMA stuff.
She's kind of all combat sports. She's much more in tune than I am. I do find it interesting. You said Katie Taylor had won the first 2?
Yes, she won the first one by split decision and won the second one
because I
unanimous.
Believe Serrano is a favorite, minus 200. I traditionally go by the best indicator of future results or past results, meaning if Katie Taylor won twice, I would assume that the best indicator, that's just kind of one of my rules of gambling. Bet the streak, and you can only be wrong once. So I guess I'm taking Katie Taylor in the plus money. Give me Katie Taylor plus 160.
You gotta get the juice.
She's done it twice, and if you're going to give me a little extra, why not?
Till the tape doesn't reveal much of any sort of size or reach mismatch. The difference in reach is about a half inch. Difference in height, again, like a half inch. Taylor's 38, Serrano's 37. Very equally matched. Katie Taylor, overall record of 24-1. Serrano, 47-3-1. So 2 very, very accomplished women's boxers going at it. And that one's going to be on Netflix as well, which is, it's always weird for me whenever I see events on Netflix. Like when they have the NFL on Netflix now for Christmas, and they're making their way in that space. So
they're trying. And I remember being very worried. They had the football game going there's no way, because they had the Tyson fight, right? And everything crashed. And
then the stream was horrible.
And they had a Chiefs holiday game coming up, and I was like, "There's no way it's going to work." And it was okay.
And the cameras, the quality was really high too, if I remember correctly. It was very crisp, 8K.
Maybe the companies with all the money should be the ones doing the live sports. Who knows?
All right, we'll shift gears here. We've been talking a little bit about this today. Let's go to the NBA Summer League. My Charlotte Hornets Summer League debut for many highly touted picks going up against the Utah Jazz, who will be without Ace Bailey. He is not playing tonight. 7 p.m. Eastern. That one's going to be on ESPN as well. Mm-hmm. So national audience tuning in. But are you back in the Bugs tonight against the Jazz?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely.
Even though Utah went 3-0 in that original, I think it might have been in Utah this time, the first Summer League, but the pre-Summer League, whatever they call it now.
Well, there's just multiple iterations of it. Here's the thing. Summer League, it's weird. And I don't want to pretend like I bet a lot of Summer League, but I have dabbled. The team that has the most highly touted youngsters oftentimes is the team to bet on, right? So like the Hornets having so many young guys, they have 4 of the top 34 picks, I think, in this most recent draft. All of those guys are like, no offense, trying a little too hard, right? They're the freshmen that got called up to varsity practice. Like, they're trying to impress everybody. And that's not like, Filipowski for the Jazz has been grinding another Duke guy because he's still trying to make a name for himself. So there are other guys. But traditionally, if you just have a lot that care and a lot of good players that care, highly drafted players that care, you're going to be pretty good in Summer League. So I think the Hornets, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in Summer League. I don't know if that translates at all to the NBA level ever. But I think, Con Knipple, Liam McNeely, Kalkbrenner, who you talked about, Sion James, like those guys are talented, and they're going to be playing hard because it's their first NBA experience.
Yeah, I'm just...
You're going to be out there when? Starting Monday? Monday?
Just, going in Monday morning, coming back Tuesday evening, short trip, just to see the future of the franchise.
Who are they playing Monday night?
It's against the Mavericks as Vince Cooper Flagg.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I'm flipping it on you. Pick the game.
Part of the draw. Oh, of course, I'm going to back the Hornets, obviously.
Right.
But I'm hoping more so that's logical because I think they have a lot more pieces on the Summer League team, at least players that I'm familiar with.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like
beyond Cooper Flagg on Dallas's Summer League roster, there weren't a ton of names that I necessarily recognize. That doesn't mean necessarily that they're not as good, but I have high hopes. I have high hopes for this Hornets youth movement.
It might mean they're not as good if we've never heard of them and we're as nerdy of sports followers as I know.
But they took down Bronny and the Lakers last night, so they must be decent.
Let's see who else is on. Let's see if I recognize any. Ryan Nembhard.
Yes, they do have Ryan Nembhard.
He's a good player. Matthew Cleveland. He was a Miami guy.
Miami and Florida State. I just realized it's going to be a Creighton-off with Nembhard and
True.
We got Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Yeah, that's about all I recognize. All
right, we'll do one more here.
Let's do it.
Let's send it over to the pitch. We got the Club World Cup Final. It was hosted in the United States. It's going to be at MetLife. This is on Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Got Chelsea facing off with PSG, Club World Cup Final. Who do you got?
What do I have? I want to, again, lack of knowledge on Front Street, I don't follow soccer. If Messi is playing like within 10 minutes of my house, I'll go check it out. That's about as far as my soccer knowledge goes.
PSG heavy favorites in this one, by the way.
In that case, I mean, you'd be foolish to bet on anyone other than PSG. Paris Saint something, right?
Paris Saint-Germain, yeah.
You even say it. Say it again.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Paris Saint-Germain, right?
I took French in high school.
All right. It's like when someone's ordering at a restaurant and for whatever reason they put on the big to-do about the pronunciation.
Can I get the bruschetta with the mozzarella?
Exactly. With the mozzarella. By the way, I would also like some water. It's like, okay, what's going on there? That about does it for us. So actually, you make the pick. Do you follow soccer?
I haven't followed it as closely this past European season because Man City was kind of bad, but I'll go with PSG as well.
All right, there you go. Lot of insight given in our soccer analysis. That's going to do it for us here for the week. Don't forget to text in BEEF to 919-860-5326. You just might win your weight in meat. Brought to you by the NCAA Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Thank you to Max for stepping in and keeping us up and running. On Monday, I believe we have Graham for the show. So we'll keep the producer's chair, musical chairs rolling. We'll be back on Monday, as I said. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody. Subscribe to our YouTube. See ya.
The Adam Gold Show.
Everybody in Duke's starting five that made the Final Four got drafted. 3 of them in the top 10. Cooper Flagg 1, Konkadipple 4, Kamon Malawach went 10th. Sion James and Tyrese Proctor also drafted. And I keep hearing, how did they not win the title? How did they not even make it to Monday night? Carolina had Jamison and Carter and didn't make it to the championship game 2 years in a row. It's sports.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And you know, we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car